Hey guys, we've got a baby blowout situation in my house right now, so I'll be here in a minute. You've got time to make a coffee, you got time to go to the bathroom, whatever you need to do. I will be here soon, I promise. Everyone's talking about how cool the last song was. I did not hear it, so I'll have to listen to it again later. Hi everybody, welcome. Happy Monday. How's it going? Let me read off everything that happened during pre-show. Scorpio Girl, thank you so much for subscribing. Psycho Wolf Girl, thank you for the 23. Killer Cadet, thank you for the 13. Malumadu, thank you for the 15. Visibil, thank you for the 4. Mage Buns, thank you for the 10. Dodge This Angie, thank you for gifting a sub to Unicorn Sparkles. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Ishshed Cal, thank you for the 7. Hylian Hayes, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody coming from Hylian Hayes. How are you guys? And Leo Sunlover, thank you for the 20 months. Guys, you haven't lived, really, until a baby has pooped in a way where somehow the poop went all the way up to their shoulders. You haven't lived. You haven't lived. It's incredible. Yeah, baby blowout is like a term for when a baby poops so intensely that the poop escapes the diaper. So I was taking her up to put her in her bed for her nap, right? And Sam was like, she kind of stinks. And I was like, oh, okay, good to know. Picked her up, walked with her, set her down. And I guess setting her down was really the mistake. I was like, I'll just change her diaper and then put her in bed, right? Set her down, and I guess there was just so much poop in there that it just like went all the way up her back to her shoulders, and I started to undo everything and was like, oh no. oh no. This is bad. Wu-Tang T, thank you so much for the 10 months. X-Ray, thank you for the 9. Happy Twitch baby. May your Twitch baby never blow out. Lugster, thank you for the 3. Stay Ashy, thank you for the 2 years. Thank you so, so much. I hope you've had a lovely time. Invincible Bug, thank you for the 21 months. Quantum Clockwork, thank you for gifting a sub to Art Boyo. Art Boyo, welcome to your 2nd month. Stormcorp, thank you for the 4 years. Happy anniversary. Thank you so much. That's amazing. Sveven Yengar, thank you so much for the 35. We Sell Free Money, thank you for the 28. And Campbell's, thank you for the 27. Can she walk yet? No. 4-month-olds typically cannot walk. I'm not saying that as like a... I'm not saying that to be like, duh. Because a lot of you have had no reason to know anything about babies. How do you wash the poop out of the clothes? It normally just comes out. So. Were there penguins at the zoo? I did not see any penguins. We did as much as we could, but like, we were on kind of a time crunch. And also, what am I trying to say? Also, like, just having a baby with you, you're constantly adjusting stuff. You're having to feed her. Mom was saying that at their zoos in England, there are like family stations, like places you can go to that have pretty much anything you would need for a baby. So like there's a place to warm up milk. There's like potentially extra diapers and wipes and things just in case you need them, like that kind of stuff. And I was like, that's amazing. So we were looking at the map going, maybe there's some kind of just like maybe just one little family area at the zoo. That would be amazing. No, there's nothing. We went to, because we didn't have any way to warm up her milk. And so we were like, oh, well, let's just go to one of the food like areas. There's so many things that like add on to irritation levels when you're out in public with a baby. So like we had a bottle and we were like, well, let's warm up the bottle. Went to like a grill, right? That was in the zoo. We got food there. And so we were also like, hey, can we also just get like some water? So just some hot water. And they were like, no. We're like, we just need hot water to warm up the bottle. Could we do that? And they were like, no. Like, cool. Cool, thank you. That was very helpful of you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Then I needed to change her diaper, so I went into the bathroom, and literally the changing table was right in the fucking doorway. Nowhere to put my shit. So, like, I had to pull down the table as people were constantly, like, walking into me, like, bumping into me while I was doing shit. I had to set my bag that had everything in it on the floor, so I'm constantly, like, holding her while leaning down to try and get my shit. I was like, I hate this. I hate this. So, yeah. So, just as a parent, I was like, fuck all this. I hate all of this. Do thermos baby bottles exist? You know, it's funny. Sam's mom was like, I used to have a thing that you could literally just put a hot bottle into and it would just keep it hot. But, like, milk can only be out, even warm, it can only be out for, like, a certain amount of time. So, which zoo? The cat gang has some tweeting to do. It's just the LA zoo. Like, it's fine. This is literally the way it is pretty much everywhere. But, like, just this situation specifically, I was like, how are the mosquitoes? Dude, it's crazy. So I kept being like, because Sam was like, maybe we have fleas again, right? I was like, these don't look like these don't look like flea bites, right? Like they like get red and have like a radius of red, right? Like they're not flea bites. They're not small enough. They're not like hard enough, you know? They're definitely not bed bug bites. So I was like, they honestly feel like they remind me of mosquito bites. Like they're super itchy and the red like spreads and they like leak a little. Like sometimes they just kind of like leak pus and it's gross. Like that kind of a thing. And I was like, it reminds me of mosquito bites, but we've never had mosquitoes out here ever. Like I've lived here for years, right? And I've never dealt with mosquitoes. So I'm like, what could it possibly be? Tweeted about it yesterday going, anybody in LA having problems with mosquitoes? Because I've never had issues with this before. Almost everyone that I know that lives in LA has been like, yeah, I'm suddenly getting bit by shit that I've never been bit by before. And started looking into it, and apparently there are strains of mosquitoes that literally just this year have shown up in Southern California. So we're going, so we're not crazy. That's great. Fleas are big. If there were fleas, you'd see fleas. Yeah, we also have a white cat. Like, if our cats had fleas, I would see them on her, right? So, yeah. Since when do mosquito bites leak pus? Oh, mine always have. Like, the really irritated ones, sometimes, yeah, wherever the, like, sting or bite point is, will, like little, just not, like, leaking, but just, like, little bits of, like, white or, like, clear will come out. Anyways, to everybody that's eating, sorry, my bad. Hiromatsu, thank you so much for the 9 months. Happy Twitch, baby. To Jabberwock, thank you so much for subscribing. Phoenix on Fire, thank you so much for subscribing. Both of you, welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you, thank you. Atomic Space Kitty, thank you for the 9 months as well. Happy Twitch, baby. Disc Death, thank you for the 45. Comic Strider for the 25. Kuba the Bear for the 19. Igors, thank you so much for all the biddies. I appreciate it. Trome Up, thank you so much for the 2. Reddish Beard for the 1 year. Happy anniversary. And Olala Boy, thank you for the 7. Was that a dab? Yeah. Oh no, is this your first time? Is this your first time here? I'm sorry. We need a dab emote. I know he's working on it. He's working on it. Bring on the poop tails. My oatmeal is still delicious. Great. Excellent. Kenichi, thank you for the 45. And Dodge This Angie, thank you for gifting a sub to Pink Sakura Flower. Welcome to your 2nd month. And Kito-san, thank you so much for the 9 months as well. Happy Twitch, baby. Have y'all ever gotten a sunburn so bad that it leaks pus? No, I have not. Ugh. all this talk of food and now I'm hungry. Yo, the food that we got from the grill was delicious. It was very, very good. But like, just give me some goddamn hot water for my baby bottle. Like, what the fuck? I don't get it. I don't get it. What do you think is the right amount of screen for your child? Like a right amount of watching TV? We don't really let her watch TV. I was talking with my sister, and my sister was like, all of my kids watched like little bits of TV, and they're totally fine, you know. But they tell you that they should have limited screen time until they're 2 years old. But I guess like that is starting to be adjusted because there are like beneficial forms of screen time for babies. Now that we have like video talks and things like that, like they can learn social interaction through the screen, right? So it's interesting. It's interesting seeing them discuss it now when screens are so a part of our lives. Like I think that it would be very, very difficult for us to literally have her never see screens, right? Like we have phones that have screens. We literally work at a computer all day. You know, there's just so many types of screens that it would be difficult to keep her from seeing, you know? But I never like just sit her in front of the TV to distract her. If she looks at the screen, it's not like I'm going to be like, fuck, right? But I don't let the TV babysit her, and I don't let the TV like distract her. If she needs to be distracted, or if she needs to, you know, move around, or if she needs playtime, then I help her with playtime. I don't let the TV be playtime, if that makes sense. Baziger, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a new member of the Cat Gang. Danny Catmum, thank you so much for the 2 years. First time actually paying for a sub, not just gifted. I'm glad I can support you even though I've been watching for 6 years. Thank you so much, Danny. Thank you very much. And I Troll Sky, thank you for the 30 months. At what age would you feel it's okay to introduce her to screens for distraction? I mean, I don't know. I feel conflicted on that. I would hope that I can, during this time, that I can like foster in her an interest in like playing with things instead of defaulting to the TV, you know? So in my ideal situation, for at least for like a while, it would be, if she now gets screen time, it's family screen time. But playtime is still like building stuff and drawing things and like engaging imagination more. How often do people say, "Can I hold your baby?" Strangers never say that. If anybody in my family or my friends say it, I'm like, please, please do. I love holding her, but I love when other people hold her as well. It's funny. She's actually so good with nail cutting. Somehow. I don't know. Like, she flails a lot, but like if I like put my finger here and she holds onto it, right? She'll just sit there and hold on to my finger while I clip her nails. I'm sure that as she gets older and it's not as much of like a reflex to just grab things, I'm sure it'll be harder. But I thought from reading, it seemed like, oh, well, while your baby just like falls into a dead sleep, you know, really early on in their life, take advantage and clip their nails while they sleep. But once they get to like 4 or 5 months, you're not going to be able to do that. They don't sleep like as much like the dead, you know? But she wide awake. I can clip her nails easy. So her feet are hard. Her feet are very hard because her feet are like doing this shit all day and just like. Why do I hear kitchen noises? Because right there is the kitchen. My mom and Nancy are still here, so. I wish my feet could do that, right? She's basically a supervillain, but just with her feet. She like sits there like this, and then her little feet are just like, just like doing this shit. Have you done the red dot and mirror test with her yet? I don't know what that is. The mirror thing that we've been told to do soon is where you touch their nose. I'm trying to think of what it is. You touch their nose while they're looking at the mirror, I think, and you see whether they go to touch their own nose or go to touch the mirror's nose. It's something like that. It's something weird like that. Sam is changing for the better. Mom is no longer acceptable. Well, if I say mom, I mean my English mom. I mean Sam's mom. My mom is mommy. So I have a mommy and I have a mom. I have no moms. I can't hold a baby. My sister had me hold her baby twice, and I feel like I'm holding a bomb. It's awkward. Maybe it would be different if I have my own. I think everybody feels sort of like, what is this fragile, important thing that I'm holding right now? You know, when they hold a baby for the first few times, you definitely get better at it, if that makes sense. That's not confusing. I feel like you're being sarcastic, but I don't know why. I couldn't hold my nephew. I was too scared. Yeah, we have friends who like have also had accidents while they were holding a baby. So they're like, I don't want to hold your baby just because I don't trust myself, which I feel so bad about. But obviously I'm not about to be like, just fucking hold her, right? Anybody who is interested in holding her, I let hold her. But if they're like, I'd rather not, I don't force her on them. How was your airplane trip with the baby? Did you have a stroller cover? No. Um, so we have the stroller that we bought is a Graco stroller that also had the car seat like included. So it has like a click system where the stroller, you like pull the stroller out and then the car seat clicks into it. And you can also unclick it and click it into a base that goes in your car. So it's like a full like car system, stroller system, all in one sort of a thing. I did some research, and Graco also makes basically what's called like a travel stroller, which is like a way smaller, more compact, lighter version that also works with the click system. So I got that to go on the plane, but it's actually wound up being amazing because I use our big stroller when I go for walks with her almost every day. We got a bigger stroller with like bigger wheels because California has the fucking worst roads I've ever seen in my life. So not the worst roads I've ever seen in my life. I've been to Ukraine. There's some roads in Ukraine that are awful, but like they don't take care of their roads. They don't take care of their sidewalks here, right? So we were like, we should get a stroller that has big wheels so that when we're walking her around on the sidewalks here, she's not like bumping all over the place, right? So I use the big stroller when I take her for walks. Click. The smaller stroller has now turned into not only the stroller that we took on the airplane, but it's also the stroller that we put in the car. Because I can easily take it out, open it up with one hand, which is amazing. And it's just so convenient to have all of these things work with the same stuff. Now, that one, the little travel one, once she's grown out of the car seat, will not be useful anymore. It will not be useful anymore. But for now, and with like as much as we travel and as much as we like try to go out and have like family excursions and whatever, it feels so worth it to me. The big stroller, once she's too big for the car seat, the big stroller is just a normal stroller that has the click. So you don't have to click a car seat into it for it to act as a stroller, right? So once she's grown out of the car seat, we can just put her into it like it's a normal stroller without the car seat, and it'll be great. So I am delighted to be living in the cyberpunk future of the 80s where where my car seat, my travel stroller, and my big stroller can all just like interconnect and work with each other. Yes, baby stuff gets expensive for sure. What's funny though is, so Sam's mom, I guess, has bought every stroller, every pram for each of her grandkids. So she really wanted to buy the stroller for Clark. We picked out our stroller and we were like, I hope that this isn't too much, you know. Went to her and she was like, oh, that's very cheap. We were like, oh, great. Okay. Apparently it's very cheap for a stroller. And so the little travel stroller I got for $50. So it wound up not being too much extra onto all of that, but I paid for that, obviously. So overall, apparently, we've been able to make some pretty okay choices on that stuff. Our crib wasn't too bad. And all of the other furniture that's in her room is reused stuff from other rooms. The only thing that I would still love to have is like a little rocking chair in that room for when I give her night feedings. But literally right now I just go in there, I pick her up in the middle of the night, and I sit on the floor and I feed her, and then I put her back in the crib. And Sam's like, this is so dumb. And I'm like, there's no chair in here. So Gynax, thank you for gifting us up to Triforce of Mediocrity. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Hibiscus Flower, thank you for the biddies. Pseudo Flask, thank you for the 50 months. Matthew B, thank you for the 7. And Rienku, thank you so much for the biddies. I think I saw somebody say they're about to... Yeah, Tila, I'm 3 months pregnant with my first. I'm terrified of everything birth, after, or having a tiny human. Any advice? You know, it actually goes easier than you think it's going to. Like, Sam and I thought that literally everything about our lives was going to change, but it didn't. And even if we had like normal jobs, even if we had normal jobs, it's still like you have what's normal now. And once you have the baby, there's just like new normals that just kind of like click into place. And it's honestly, it's not as assaulting to your whole life as you think it's going to be. And this might be like a really selfish way to be talking about this. And some of you might be like, it is a baby, Dodger. But like, you literally, as a parent, I think you wrestle with, I want to be there for my child. I'm so excited to be there for my child. I want to be the best parent I can. And also, I don't want to lose myself in what I am and who I am, right? You don't want to just be a parent. Not that that isn't noble, but you're in yourself a human who has desires and wants and needs, right? So you need to create situations where you are tackling those at the same time as you are being the best parent that you can be, right? And both of those things are important. And I think as it gets closer and closer and closer, you start to think to yourself, I'm never going to get to be myself again. And that's not true at all. So don't worry. It's actually going to be amazing. You're going to have like this incredible little monster in your life that's constantly learning and constantly changing. You're going to have, you know, a week here and there where you're like, this is the worst. And then suddenly it'll be over and you'll be like, oh, that wasn't too bad. It'll be fun. It's really fun. Murcook, thank you for the 4 months. Thank you, thank you. Damn, Dodger's going real hard selling the whole baby thing. Look, I have so many friends who are like, I never want a baby, ever. Like, your baby's cute and everything, but like, I do not want a baby. And if you don't want a baby, I don't think you should have a baby. Like, I'll never understand why so many people are like pitching really hard for people to have babies when they obviously don't want babies. Like, the last thing that I think the earth needs is reluctant parents. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. If somebody's like, I would rather die than have a baby, or even just, I don't think that I'm, you know, maybe I'll just never be ready for a baby and I'm cool with that. I'm like, great. Don't have a baby if you don't really want to be a parent. Like, I don't think that somebody who doesn't want to be a parent is going to be a good parent. Hello. How did they go?
What's going on here?
What do you mean what's going on here?
What's that?
I don't know.
It doesn't look like the box.
Sam's using Bisquick for the first time.
What have I done?
I don't know. Did you put everything in there?
Yeah.
Did you whisk it?
It looks like shit.
Look. I don't know what's happened. I've never seen that happen before.
What have I done wrong?
I don't know.
I was trying to make you breakfast.
Oh, honey. Do you wanna take over the stream while I make some pancakes?
No.
Are you sure?
I'll be back.
Okay. I believe in you. Take 2. You got this. His mom goes, what have you done wrong? Oh, my love. In England, they don't really make pancakes. So he's trying to make pancakes for the first time. Sweet boy. People are saying you over whisked it, maybe.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I've never heard of that being a thing.
I just ate raw batter. What do you mean over whisked it? Chat, what do you mean?
Looks like over mixing.
Are you saying I'm so strong that I've whisked it too far?
Gluten reaction. You want some lumps. Too much stirring takes all the air out.
I whisked it till it was smooth like butter.
Oh, that's why. Oh, honey. Again.
I know what's happened.
He's too strong. Too strong of a boy. Gingerbread Man, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a new member of the Cat Gang. Hikaru-chan, thank you for the 4 months. And Fritz Cat, thank you for the 21 months. Big whisk energy. Yeah, so they have like an actual pancake day in England, and their pancakes aren't like our pancakes at all. They're like between our pancakes and crepes. They're not quite crepes, but they're not quite our pancakes. Sam is such a cool guy. Mad respect. I agree. I think he's pretty great. Death Jr., thank you for the 14 months. TBO, thank you for the 9. Happy Twitch, baby. And A Terrible Wizard, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a new member of the Cat Gang. Also, if anybody, this doesn't show up in my event list, so I feel like I always need to say this, but if anybody has taken advantage of September today and made it so that a gifted sub that they have here is continuing for the next month, thank you very much. I don't see that in my thingy, but I appreciate it. Tila, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a new member of the Cat Gang, and congratulations on your baby. And Otundra, thank you for the 35 months. You married him, so he must be pretty great. Right? You say crepes like grapes. We do, yeah. We don't say like crepes. We say crepes. Quiffin, thank you for the 20 months. And Malumadoo, thank you so much for the gift bomb to I Am Unforgiven. Random Drunk Hobo. Beta Testes, Colby, and Shoe Sizes. All of you, welcome to the Cat Gang. Be sure to thank Malumadoo in chat for your new subscriptions. T-Zug, thank you for the 29 months. And Jacob Ward Live, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a new member of the Cat Gang. And Atlas Strand, thank you so much for continuing your gifted sub. I appreciate it. Americans don't do the cool tongue roll in anything. It's true. And most Americans have only ever heard, like, Spanish, so it's not a back of the throat, it's a front of the mouth difference in the R. Give me all your crepes. Hey, where them crepes at?
Loving coffee drinking burrito babe.
Banana pancakes are great. Sam gags when he eats banana, so that's not a thing in our house. Hero 6, thank you so much for continuing your gifted sub. Maniacal Clown, thank you for the 23 months, almost 2 years. And Dodges Angie, thank you for gifting a sub to Lily and Leela. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right? I would love banana pancakes, but life and love are about compromise. Atten Shubashi, thank you so much for continuing your gifted sub as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bananas are death. Yeah, his sister hates them too. Nancy, she was like, yeah, bananas suck. And I was like, what the fuck? My dad mixes yogurt into pancakes. I know somebody who puts, what is it, club soda into pancakes to make them like super fluff. An update for Lamplight City. Then update it, my dude, before we play it. The fuck? Put some vanilla extract in those bad boys. I put, so a few times now I've made flax waffles. They're actually great. I got the recipe from Thierry because I can't remember why. I got like flaxseed flour powder or whatever they call it. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this. And she was like, oh, I make flax waffles sometimes. You should try that. They actually don't. They're not like that weird. I was like, okay. So I made flax waffles. They're actually great. Flax waffles sounds cyberpunk as heck. Banana and Nutella crepes. Oh my God, that's like a combination of two things that Sam and I hate. If somebody was like, finally, I've got you now, and I'm going to torture you until your lives have fallen apart, because apparently our arch nemesis is the Mighty Monarch. They would give us a banana and Nutella, anything, and be like, eat that together. And we'd be like, I really hate Nutella. Maniacal Clown, I already thanked you, but that's okay. You're amazing. And Sanic, thank you for the 41 months. Okay, let's open up Lamplight City. Would y'all like to hear what went on in Lamplight City so far? Yes? Okay. Oh no. How come it's not showing up? How come it is not? Goodness gravy. Beep and beep. There we go. Okay. So we only played like the beginning. The very, very beginning. We're in kind of like a steampunky sort of past world. I don't know. I'm not sure like what time period we're supposed to be in. I'm trying to remember. They did say it. But in the beginning, it was two detectives. One of them was like the sassy one, and then the other one was kind of more of like the straight man, right? They showed up at a flower shop, and the flower shop had been experiencing like really bizarre sort of break-ins where somebody would break in, take a specific type of flower, I think it was lilies, would take lilies, leave money on the counter, so they would pay for the flowers and then leave. But there was never evidence of the break-in. So the lady who owns the flower shop was like, this has been happening all the time, and like I didn't think anybody would ever do anything about it. But her right-hand man called the cops and was like, this keeps happening. I know she's not going to do anything about it, so I want you guys to do something about it. Sorry, I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit because I think it's a bit intense. Don't spoil stuff, Buford. Jeez. So, what was I saying? Yeah, so we show up and we're like, okay, we're going to figure out how somebody is breaking into this flower shop, right? We figure it out the whole time, having great sassy convos. We figure out how somebody is getting into the building without there being any evidence of it. And we're like, okay, now we can lie in wait because we know how often somebody is breaking into this flower shop. So we're going to lie in wait and see who shows up. This dude shows up and we like try to get the drop on him, but it doesn't go very well. The sassy one is held at gunpoint, and the guy who's a bit more straight-laced, he's got his gun pointed to the intruder, right? The intruder sounds like a evil mastermind villain of some sort. And we're given the choice to either try and reason with him or to shoot. So we shot and wound up shooting our partner. And he died. He fell off the roof and he died from the gunshot wound and also from the impact. When we jump forward in time, we are being haunted by our partner. Our partner, as a ghost, has been talking to us the entire time ever since he died. And so our partner is constantly like, we got to figure out who it was who infiltrated the flower shop. We got to figure that out because that's apparently the only way that I can think of that I'm going to be able to like leave you alone and move on. Right. So, picking up from there, we've woken up in our house. Our wife is like, hey, bud, you want some like painkillers or something? Because we don't know if she knows that we're hearing voices or anything like that. But it's been a few months. We're still a police officer. We're still a detective. We didn't lose our jobs. But yeah. He was 3 days from retirement, Pepe Hands. So yeah. And no, Dooger McDoog's Private Eye was the name of our game. No, I'm not going to start over and see if we can save him because I believe very strongly that regardless, we wind up haunted by our... Because I think that that's like the whole point of the game is that we're haunted by him. So, load. Here's our waifu, Adelaide.
Yes, dear?
Oh, wait. I need to turn it back up. Okay. Let me know if that's a good level.
How's work going? You have any appointments today?
Yes, one this evening. It's been a bit slow lately, but pretty soon it'll be debutante ball season, and all the Gascon grand dames will need their hair done. You sure I can't convince you to let me give you a little trim? You've been looking awfully scruffy lately.
What's the point? I've got no need to go peacocking around town. You're the only girl for me.
I like it when you're clean cut. It brings out your eyes.
The way my eyes have been looking lately, I think it's best to keep them hidden. How are you? It feels as though we haven't seen much of each other these past few days.
I've been fine.
Addie, you're not a very good liar. What's on your mind?
Addie.
I'm worried about you, Miles.
I know, but I've told you, there's no need to worry about me. I'm all right.
You're not all right, Miles. I may not be a good liar, but you can't fool me either.
I am all right. What do I have to do to convince you of that?
You could start by throwing out that sleeping medicine. It's turned you into a different person.
I needed to sleep, Addie. I'll become an even worse person without it, believe me.
I know Bill's death was hard for you. It was hard for all of us. But whatever it is that's bothering you, you know you can talk to me about it. That's what I'm here for.
I know, my love. Your support means the world to me. I need some time to deal with things. That's all. It won't always be like this, I promise.
Making promises you can't keep, eh, Miles? That'll end well.
Somebody in chat said that because we had a dev in chat when we played the beginning of the game, which was awesome, and I guess I didn't see it, but apparently the dev confirmed that it is a false choice, but it's the only false choice in the game. So there's no way to save him like we thought. But apparently that's the only time that will happen in the whole game. So that's good.
I've still got that song you sang last week at the Rutherford stuck in my head. You were amazing.
Thank you, Miles. That was a lovely evening. I always enjoy it when Joseph brings out his violin and we can relive the old days.
Certainly nicer than when he spends hours telling the exact same story whenever you visit.
They were very glad to see you, you know.
It's probably the most fun I've had in months, to be honest.
They've invited us for dinner again in a couple of weeks, if you're feeling up to it.
I hope I am.
Yes, the whole thing is fully voice acted, which is awesome.
What's that you're reading?
It's a collection of short stories by James Penstroke. It was just published earlier this month.
Any good?
Oh yes, I love his work. He's been publishing a new serial in Brentwell magazine. I can't wait to read it. Perhaps we both can together? I think you'd enjoy him.
Lately, I haven't been able to concentrate on a page for more than 5 minutes without nodding off.
That is a pity.
I'll let you get back to your book.
I'm trying to remember. Chat, do you remember where... Was it down here? Oh no, why am I dropping frames? Oh, come on. Don't drop frames, you piece of shit. Okay. I think we're okay. Silver at Heart, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a new member of the Cat Gang. Wild Goose Chase, thank you for the 2 months. Jeff, thank you for the 16. Arnar, thank you for gifting a sub to stay hydrated, bot. And Celestial Socks, what's up? Thank you so much for the 20 months.
You remember how much time Adelaide had to spend convincing you to sit for this? At least these days, with ferrotype tech advancing the way it is, these portraits can be done in just a matter of minutes. It might do you some good to look in the mirror a bit more often, Miles. I always liked that painting. It's impossible to see that kind of scenery here in the city. If there isn't a pair of scissors or a hairbrush in Adelaide's hands, you can bet there'll be a book.
Aw. Fordham. A big case has come in, which I think will interest you. Meet me at the Ruin Coffee House for more details from C. Upton.
Upton says she's got a big case for me.
Does she go into any more detail than that?
No, but then you know Upton. Always on a need-to-know basis. Especially since she's been giving me these cases under the table.
To be fair, they haven't exactly been anything of note.
True, but she's still sticking her neck out for me. I can understand why she's so secretive about it.
I think she just misses having you around the station.
Poor Connie. With you quitting and me dying, she must be bored stiff at work.
Anyway, I'm supposed to
Oh,
meet
we
her
quit.
at the Ruin Coffee House. That can't be right.
It's not like Constance to make mistakes. She must have gotten in somehow.
Guess I'll head over there and see what she's got then.
Oh, God. This Tuesday marks the 3-month anniversary of the tragic crash of the Ligia. The Ligia was preparing to make its second transatlantic voyage when disaster struck. The airship burst into flames shortly after departing for England, crashing into Foster Park. All 300 passengers on board, including HRH Prince Harold, were killed, as were 54 bystanders in the park. Royal Maverick Lines conducted an investigation and ruled the crash an accident, citing the ignition of a gas leak. Despite this, rumors of sabotage persist. Royal Maverick vowed to instill stricter safety regulations going forward, and that the Ligia's sister ship, the HMS Lenore, would be extremely safe upon its completion. There has been public outcry and protests at the blank. Madame Laura Dupre, age 44, died on Saturday of apparent natural causes. Born Laura Chesterton in London in 1800, she and her family moved to New Britannia in 1804. In 1818, she married Colonel Andrew Shepherd, a royal officer 30 years her senior. Aethericity. It's real and it's coming. A substance said to possess both energetic and restorative properties was first put forth 2 years ago by Dr. Bennett Clark. Second, bizarre murder baffles police. New Britannia police are investigating a murder in Chumley, similar to one which occurred in that borough just last month. The many details are confidential. We are able to confirm that both victims have been male and died from gunshot wounds. New Britannia police declined to reveal any further details and denied rumors that the murders are being committed by a serial killer.
Your book collection has always astonished me. Heaven help you if you ever decide to move. Your book collection... Didn't I give you two that clock as a wedding present? Too bad it stopped working. I can see why Adelaide calls that plant Miles Jr. It's a spitting image.
Damn.
How are your parents doing these days? It's been ages since you wrote them. It's been so long since you used that desk. Did you even notice when Adelaide got rid of the chair?
Damn.
Bollingworth Ale. My favorite. And a nice souvenir from the Angel. You really ought to go back there someday. I'd love to see the look on Snelling's face if he ever found out you kept your old truncheon. Ah, the Havisham case. Our first time out as partners.
Aww.
First in a long line of successful cases. It's nice to have a memory of the good old days. That makes me wonder what old Mrs. Handbrook is up to these days. Adelaide's father certainly had an amazing life. Imagine being the personal barber to the Prime Minister and his family. The gossip and secrets he must have heard. Building those model ships was a good way to pass the time between cases. Hopefully it'll be a while before you get enough time to build another one.
Okay, have I looked at everything? I think I have.
Let her read in peace for now.
I hear baby girl. Yeah, I've already done everything out there. Okay. Bye, I love you. Mwah, 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 mwah.
Have a lovely day, Addie.
Give my regards to Constance.
The coffee house. Oh, hello.
Ah, the Rouen Coffee House. Worst Java in Lamplight City, but there's no better place to overhear all the rumors and gossip in town. Just make sure you don't get too close to the other patrons. Discretion was never your forte. Not in much of a hurry to clean up in here, are they? Nice seaside landscape. Definitely a stark contrast to the ambiance in here. Self-Portrait as a Desperate Man by B. Calvert. A bit like looking in the mirror, isn't it, Miles? Green's sulfur soap. Beautifies the complexion, leaves you smelling fresh as a daisy. Talk about false advertising. I couldn't get a date for a week after using that stuff.
Okay, the sound's gonna get fucky again. Hold on. I guess I'll try putting myself there. I'm not sure where else to put myself.
All that metal and tubing just to serve a hot cup of coffee? Best avoid that one. He looks like he might tip over at any moment. Reminds me of when I was alive. Ah, good times.
Thank you. What?
I've got head loss.
What?
I've made like 14 pancakes. They're all in the bin. This is all that I've made out of all of it.
It looks beautiful. You did good. I'm not lying to you.
Don't lie to me.
Come here. Come here. No, honey. Smooch me.
No,
Why not?
not in the mood.
Everybody tell Sam he did a good job.
You've got 3 English people trying to make a fucking American pancake out there, alright? It's not a wheelhouse.
I literally don't know what he's doing wrong. It's incredible. Tastes fine. They're just really dense. I don't know how.
She's running back and forth at lightning speed. Clearly, she dips into the coffee supply. He and his friend are having quite the conversation. I bet it's really boring. Asleep at a coffee house. One of life's little ironies. Just one of many patrons contributing to the oppressive thug in here. A young woman holding a guitar. Completely the wrong way, I might add.
If it isn't my old friend, up to no good.
Hello, Fordham. It's good to see you.
How did you get them to let you in here?
It's rather simple, really. The owner and I have an understanding. He pretends women are allowed in coffee houses, and I don't report his unsavory business practices to Chief Snelling.
Sounds like a good deal. What sort of unsavory business practices are we talking about?
Oh, we haven't got time to get into that now. But take some advice. Don't order anything that isn't water.
I got your message. What's going on?
It's time for you to join the big boys again, Fordham. Your days of finding lost cats are over.
So stop teasing me and tell me what it is already.
Do you know Madame Laura Dupre?
Can't say the name rings any bells.
I'm not surprised. She's one of the Gascon Grand Dames. Doesn't really run in our kind of social circles.
Ah, right.
Madame Dupre died the day before yesterday. Her funeral was held this morning.
My condolences.
But halfway through the service, the mourners heard a loud knocking coming from inside her coffin.
She wasn't dead?
Apparently not. Nearly interred alive, although her doctor swears she had no pulse. Dupre's son Andrew was quick to suspect foul play. He accused a man named Albert Martin, and the police arrested him.
So where do I come in? Sounds like the case has already been solved.
I strongly suspect that Martin is innocent, especially considering the talk of him having used black magic on Dupre. The police feel they have enough evidence to convict, so they're not bothering to investigate any further. You're going to look into it and see if I'm right, then find the person who was really behind this.
Has Madame Dupre recovered from her ordeal?
I'm afraid not. Apparently she's been catatonic since they pulled her out of the coffin.
How unfortunate.
If you'd like to question Mr. Martin, he's being held at the Bow Street Jail. Or you could take a look around his house. It's at 451 Compton Street in Worcester.
And the Dupre home?
That's at Emmeline and Comtesse, right across from the old Angeline convent. It's also possible you might run into the police during your investigation, since they're technically still on the case.
Thanks for the warning.
Was there anything you wanted to talk about before you get started?
Yes, actually, I had a couple of questions.
Let's hear them then.
How are things going with you?
Work is hectic as usual, and I'm spending my day off in here. But considering my home life is still a shambles, maybe this is the best place to be.
Uh-oh.
I'm truly sorry about that.
Don't be ridiculous. If it hadn't been for you, I'd still be chained to that philandering bastard. It hasn't been easy, but I'm much better off this way. Trust me. Anyway, work gives me something to focus on. I'm sure you can relate to that.
Yes, and I'm grateful to you for getting me these case leads. I know you're taking a risk to do it.
It's the least I can do. How about you? How's Adelaide?
She's fine, although things between us could be improved, if I'm being honest. The less said about it right now, the better, I think.
I'm sorry to hear that. You can talk to me about it if you need to, although I'm probably not the best person to ask for relationship advice.
That's a phobia, being buried in a coffin alive. It always makes me think of Kill Bill.
Don't suppose there have been any developments regarding Bill's murder.
Unfortunately not. The department hasn't exactly been focusing on that case as a priority. The general attitude is that it was an accident. Bill died an honorable death in the line of duty.
Would have been nice if they bothered saying that at the funeral.
And of course there are still those who blame you for his death, Snelling being the first and foremost.
But the man who really caused Bill's death is still out there.
Yes, I know, but it looks like you're on your own if you want to find him. My hands are tied. I can only ask around so much before the higher-ups get suspicious. Just don't give up. New Britannia may be a big city, but the criminal world is surprisingly close-knit. If you find any connections or leads during your other cases, be sure and let me know. I'll do the same if I find anything out.
See, she has a priorities straight. You could learn a lot from Upton.
Side note, Draylin, thank you for the 10 months. Caddis Megas, thank you for the 11. Jack Delta for the 29. Smoke Scully for the 5. And It's a Me, Theo. Thank you so much for the 25 months.
That's it, I think.
Then you'd better get back to it.
Well, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to help you find the flower shop burglar, but I suppose freeing an innocent man is a worthy diversion. Seems like they have a little something for everyone in here. The specialty house brews. These are definitely not coffee.
Okay. Bye. Dupree Manor. Bow Street Jail. Let's go to the jail first.
Fordham? Is that you? You look like something a cat spat up.
Hello,
Thank you.
Giles. It's lovely to see you too.
What brings you round the jail? I thought you'd quit being a detective.
I'm looking to speak with Mr. Albert Martin.
Oh, I see. Well, that's him in the first cell there. I'd say what needs saying as quick as you can, though. He's headed for the gallows in the morning.
What? Already? But what about a trial?
No trial necessary when there's black magic involved. This little half-breed's already sealed his fate.
Such
Whoa.
a charming fellow, isn't he? Either crime is low, or the police aren't doing their jobs very well.
Mr. Martin?
Who are you? My lawyer?
No, I'm actually here to help you. The name's Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
How are you going to help me?
I'm looking into the attack on Madame Dupre. I believe you're innocent.
Oh, thank heaven. That's music to my ears.
Would you mind answering a few questions for me?
Friend, if it means saving me from the noose, I'll tell you nothing less than God's truth.
Interesting choice of phrase for someone accused of using black magic.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
What's to tell? She's a twisted, evil woman who got what was coming to her. Whoever attacked her deserves some sort of reward for the service they're doing to the community.
Maybe
So
don't
it
say
wasn't
that
you, then?
at trial.
No, I'm innocent, Mr. Fordham. You have to believe me.
I'm afraid you're not making that very easy right now, Mr. Martin. Do you know anything about the circumstances of Madame Dupre's supposed death?
No, I had nothing to do with it.
Then why did her son accuse you?
Probably because he's just as ignorant as she is.
What I meant was, how did her son know to accuse you? Have you had any contact with the family before?
Yes, you could say that.
Uh-oh. That gleam in his eye says it all.
You see, I'm involved with Dupre's daughter, Juliet Montgomery. Dupre doesn't like that one bit. She even threatened me once.
Is that right?
Yes. She might have everyone else fooled, but that woman is the devil incarnate. I can't understand how something so heartless and cruel could have spawned someone as pure and, loving as my dear Juliet.
He's not really helping his case much, is he?
Tell me about Juliet.
She's wonderful. Such a beautiful, kind soul. She hasn't come to see me yet, but I'm sure that's because of all the confusion in the last few days. Juliet wouldn't believe for a second that I would be capable of harming her mother. I'm sure of it.
How did you two get involved?
We met at the university.
Your classmates?
Hardly. They wouldn't allow someone like me to enroll there. Juliet studies botany. I work as an assistant in the greenhouse. We started talking, and she actually treated me like a person. To everyone else, I was just the boy who fetched the test tubes. But Juliet actually wanted to hear what I had to say. Had the same taste in books and art. Didn't just treat me like some piece of gardening equipment. She even shared some of her notes with me after I told her I was interested in botany as well. From there, things just got better.
Aww.
I don't expect you to understand or approve, but that's how it happened.
Oh, you'd be surprised. It doesn't sound too different to how my wife and I got together. Except I was a detective and she was a singer at a bar.
And she's...
Yes, Mr. Martin. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. How often is Juliet in the greenhouse?
Every weekday, but I doubt she's there now. She's probably trying to find out where I am and working to have me released.
Somehow, I wouldn't bet on that.
Embarrassed Squid, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a new member of the Cat Gang. And Fenriser, thank you for the 14 months.
How did you end up in here?
I was just minding my own business at home when the police showed up with no warning. They made some outrageous claims about me putting some sort of curse on Madame Dupre. The next thing I knew, I was here. Oh, Mama must be beside herself with worry. I just hope she's all right.
What does your mother do, Mr. Martin?
She helps people.
I was hoping you'd be just a bit more specific.
She provides spiritual help to those who seek guidance.
She's a spiritualist.
Not quite. She's more like... how can I explain it? You know how a priest holds mass to spread the word of God to the people? My mother holds services and calls on the spirits to walk among us, providing healing and guidance.
So she's a religious leader?
If you want to give her that title, it would be the most appropriate.
And does this religion of yours have a name?
You'd probably know it as voodoo, but it doesn't mean what you think it does. People are so quick to judge and portray us as evil when they have no idea.
So you practice voodoo, do you?
Are you making fun of me, Mr. Fordham?
No, of course not. Apologies if it seemed as though I was. It's just that the police are convinced that black magic was involved in Madame Dupre's apparent death.
That's because that idiot son of hers knew about my mother, and like all bigoted fools, assumed that we're involved in devil worship and the black arts. But I can assure you that this is most certainly not the case, Mr. Fordham.
Of course, I didn't mean to imply.
Just forget it.
That's all for now.
Wait, before you go, would you do me a favor? Would you go see my mother at our house and give her a message?
Oh, I thought it was going to be a
451
massage.
Compton Street, right?
Sure, I would love to give her a
Yes,
massage.
that's right. Could you tell her I said St. Rock's dog is barking?
I suppose I could do that, yes.
Oh, thank you.
Whatever happened to a simple I love you?
St. Rock's dog is barking.
He's watching you like a hawk. Looks liable to toss you in one of his cells if you try any funny business.
Okay.
Not much of a view. But then it's not as though people in here are meant to have many luxuries.
Okay, bye. Okay. Go to his mom's house.
Ah, Compton Street. We're not too far from Restaurant Row. When's the last time you ate, anyway?
Please, let's not add eating to the list of things to nag me about.
I'm glad that Coulson still uses horses. I don't trust the new self-driving cabs.
Self-driving?
Considering how many eating establishments are in this neighborhood, the butcher picked a fantastic spot to set up shop. I do notice a distinct lack of stray cats in this neighborhood, though. Bon Bon's restaurant. I never got a chance to go there, but I hear their deviled eggs are simply to die for.
Oh man, I want deviled eggs. That sounds great.
I'm sorry, I have no time for visitors today.
You're Albert Martin's mother, aren't you?
Who are you?
Miles Fordham. I spoke with Albert, and he told me to give you a message. He said to tell you that St. Rock's dog is barking.
Oh, I see. That's good. That's very good. You better come in, Mr. Fordham. Standing on the street just won't do.
Why, thank you.
Welcome to my home, Mr. Fordham. I am Sabine Martin. I hope you understand that Albert has nothing to do with this awful business. Would you care for some tea?
Well, her tune certainly changed when you gave her that message. I wonder what it meant.
No, thank you, ma'am. I won't be staying long.
A rather unremarkable book collection, I'm sorry to say. That statue, on the other hand, gives me the willies. The Virgin Mary. I must admit she was the last person I was expecting to see in here. For all we know, that rider is some sort of demon. He looks like he's having a good time, at least.
Bill, you sound ignorant.
The pattern resembles a flower. Too bad it isn't an Easter lily. It's some old man with a dog standing at the center of a crossroads. If that's meant to have any sort of significance, it's completely lost on me. Interesting. Those pots look as though they've been wrapped in tobacco leaves.
Should I talk to her before I look at that? Probably.
I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
Do you think your son is capable of doing what he stands accused of?
Never. Albert wouldn't harm a fly.
That's what the mothers always say.
Why don't you tell me a bit more about him then?
He started working at the university laboratory a few years ago. I was so proud of him. The university is quite selective, you know. The same for its staff as well as its students.
Yes, I've gotten that impression.
I always told Albert to be careful around those high society types, but that one always thinks with his heart first.
Is she sure that's the correct body part?
He's all the family
wow.
I have, Mr. Fordham.
Do you know anything about Madame Laura Dupre?
I never met her in person, but I know plenty about her.
Like what?
Nothing fit for a polite conversation, Mr. Fordham. But I can tell you this. Laura Dupre has far more enemies than she lets on.
Does that include you or your son?
It most certainly does not.
What about his lady
You know about Juliet,
love?
Madame Dupre's daughter.
I know Albert was smitten with her, no matter that I told him to be very careful around her kind. Those rich Creole families don't care much for people like us. To them, we're just a help. But from his telling, Juliet sounded to be a decent soul. It's a shame the same can't be said for her kin.
If you'll indulge my curiosity, what exactly was the meaning of Albert's message?
Saint Rock is the patron saint of dogs, as well as the falsely accused. If he sent the message along with you, it means he trusts you, and that I should too.
Oh, I see.
Sick.
Perhaps you were hoping for something more? That's just the way of mysteries, isn't it?
How do you mean?
The thrill of the unknown is always more exciting than the truth. Mystery makes life a little more interesting.
True, but if mysteries were really better unsolved, I wouldn't have a job.
Yuck, 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 yuck.
What exactly is it you do, Mrs. Martin?
I provide services to the public.
A delightfully vague answer if there ever was one. Give me something a bit more specific, please.
I'm a Mambo Asugwe. That means I'm what you call a voodoo queen. I'd give you a detailed explanation of the responsibilities and duties of the role, but your time would be better spent clearing my son's name.
But can you see my ghost?
Can you
That's
tell
all
me
I
a bit more
want to
about your
know.
religious practices?
What I can tell you is that the ignorant whites in this city are afraid of us for no reason. Voodoo is not about black magic or dark spells or turning people into the living dead. It's about healing and life. Naturally, there are misguided souls who may try to use it for ill purposes, but I am not one of those.
Sounds like you hit a sore spot. Might be a good idea to stop pressing her on this angle.
I think I'll take you up on your offer for tea, after all.
All right, Mr. Fordham. You'll have to give me a few minutes to heat up the kettle. I'll be back shortly.
Amazing. Even more voodoo stuff back there. Why would she keep these particular items hidden from view?
Good question.
They obviously have some importance to her. I'd suggest asking, but I don't know if that's the best idea given how sensitive she seems to be about the subject.
The tea should be ready in a few minutes, Mr. Fordham. You can help yourself once it's done.
You're very kind, Mrs. Martin. I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
About that back room of yours.
I beg your pardon?
I don't know about this, Miles. Is this really a road you want to go down?
Oh God, should I keep asking about it? Yes, we're haunted by our friend that we shot. Our best friend, our partner. The tea is especially good today. What good tea. Wait for the tea. I'll drop
Actually,
it.
never mind. Thank you for your help.
My pleasure.
A rather unremarkable.
Maybe we can just wait.
That pattern resembles a flag.
Did Albert Martin really do what he is accused of and cause Madame Laura Dupre to almost be interred alive? Or was it someone else? So if we just wait. She said tea should be done soon, right? Like... How's that tea going? It feels like there's nothing else I can do.
I'm afraid that room is private.
Of course. My apologies.
She's not going to be much help right now.
Oh, so that was the only chance I had?
Aren't you going to have your tea, Mr. Fordham?
I'm afraid I just remembered something important I need to look into. Perhaps later.
Suit yourself.
Well, shit. Okay. Let's go to the manor.
You are aware this is private property, sir?
Yes, I'm Miles Fordham, private investigator. I'm looking into the incident involving Madame Dupre. I assume this is she?
You assume correctly, Mr. Fordham. My apologies, but I thought the police had already made an arrest.
That's right, but there's still some doubt as to the man's guilt. May I ask your name, sir?
I am Dr. Fellows, Madame Dupre's private physician. I'm afraid she is in no state to be answering questions at present.
Look
Are
at
any
her.
other members of the family home?
Her son, Mr. Montgomery, is in the entrance hall. I had to give him a mild sedative to settle his nerves, but he should be all right to converse.
Then if you don't mind, I'll have a look around.
This fountain probably looked nicer when it was working, but right now it's just a breeding ground for mosquitoes.
Don't talk about mosquitoes.
With her vast sums of wealth, Madame Dupre could probably feed a starving family for the next 30 years. Instead, she uses the money to keep her hedges trimmed. With her vast sums of wealth, instead... Her eyes are glazed over, and she's got a vacant, expressionless stare. She seems completely oblivious to her surroundings. If we didn't know she'd been buried alive, I'd say she was just exhibiting the typical symptoms of your average rich person.
Yuck, 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 yuck.
Doctor, may I ask you a few questions?
Please be my guest.
Tell me about Madame Dupre.
She is a great woman and a pillar of the community. I cannot imagine why something like this could happen to her, or how someone could be capable of such a barbaric feat. Though this ordeal has been terrible, I am confident she will overcome. The power of her physical constitution is surpassed only by her strength of character.
Do you think he'd say the same things if he wasn't on her payroll? I highly doubt it.
What were the circumstances surrounding Madame Dupre's supposed death?
Her son, Andrew, sent for me a few days ago after finding her unconscious and unresponsive. As I was unable to detect a pulse or breath, I had no other recourse but to declare her deceased. I judged that Madame Dupre had likely suffered a sudden cardiac arrest. It was most shocking to be proven wrong at a funeral.
I can imagine. Where was the funeral held, by the way?
St. Denis Cemetery. Madame Dupre wished to be interred in the tomb of her father's family, name of Chesterton.
Perhaps I'll go have a
The
look.
era of shade. Paparaziga, thank you so much for the 6 months.
Did you examine Madame Dupre after she reanimated?
Of course. Physically, she appeared to be in fine health aside from minor dehydration. I found no marks or bruising on her body. Mentally is a different story, however. She's remained in an unresponsive state ever since.
Do you have any opinions on what caused Madame Dupre to appear dead?
The most likely cause I can imagine is some sort of poison or toxin.
What leads you to believe Madame Dupre was poisoned?
The symptoms she experienced were consistent with prior cases of poisoning I've studied. And didn't the young man arrested have ties to some kind of black magic cult? There have been reported cases of these practitioners using poisons to make people appear dead, then commanding them to do their bidding. I recall reading about a man in the West Indies who was given tetrodotoxin, that's the toxic secretion from a pufferfish, declared dead and buried. He appeared alive in his village some 20 years later.
Doesn't that seem a bit far-fetched to you, Doctor?
Facts are facts, Mr. Fordham. Surely someone in your line of work can appreciate that.
How long have you been Madame Dupre's private physician?
5 years, and I've been practicing medicine for the past 30.
I also don't
I
trust
still
this
spend a
dude.
couple of days a week treating patients at Riverview Asylum.
Oh, good. Maybe if you're lucky, he could be your doctor someday.
God
30
damn
years
it,
is quite a
Bill.
long time. You must have seen
Step
some
off.
incredible advances in the field of medicine.
I have, yes. I can only wonder how things will change with all this talk of ethericity. There's speculation it can be used to restore necrotic tissue and instantly heal broken bones, among other things. If you ask me, a
Bring
good
Bill back
bloodletting
to
will
life.
never go out of fashion.
Those are all the questions I've got for now.
I hope I answered them adequately.
Maddie, thank you so much for the 3 years. Happy anniversary. I hope it's been fun.
Oh, hello. Are you the new servant?
Hello,
No, I'm Miles
Mr.
Fordham.
Cool's
I'm a private
boy.
investigator looking into your mother's attempted murder.
How did you know I was her son? Oh,
Literally,
of course.
that's
You
his
must have
voice.
sensed it with your detective's intuition. I should have guessed by that giant head of yours.
Are you feeling all right, Mr. Montgomery?
Yes, I'm fine. Much better than when those pesky police officers were snooping around earlier. But I like you, Mr. Fordham. I can already tell you're not like them. Not like them at all. Please, call me Andrew.
Yes, well,
He's
I'll
T-posed
have a
on
look
the
around, and I
couch.
may need to ask you some questions. Do you think you can handle that?
I can. In fact, I really look forward to it.
If the good doctor gave him a mild sedative, I'd hate to see what the stuff you take would have done to him.
I really want to answer all your questions, quiz boy.
Dupre looks like she's holding on to that poor bastard for dear life. What a beautiful parrot. Must have cost the Dupre's a cool copper.
Did you do this voice? I wish.
Do you suppose that's for the bird? Or perhaps so the Dupre family members can get a good look at themselves on the way out of the house?
Upstairs and to the kitchen. Okay. Well, let's talk to
I
quiz
have
boy.
some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
It's not how I expected him to look.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
She came back from the dead. I couldn't believe it. My mother, resurrected, just like Jesus.
Yes. I heard you're the one who accused Mr. Martin of the crime.
Oh, no, I already talked to the police about that. I don't want to think about it right now.
What can you tell me about your sister, Juliet?
I'm reminded of a famous quote, Mr. Fordham. Parting is such sweet sorrow. Let us part on good terms and avoid the subject altogether, please.
Interesting. He does not like his sister.
That's a rather exotic bird you've got.
I like looking at him. He has such pretty colors, doesn't he?
That he does.
You know, I've always wondered what he might taste like. Is that bad, do you think?
I really couldn't say, Mr. Montgomery. How do you typically spend your days, Mr. Montgomery? What are your interests?
Oh, a little of this and a little of that. Nothing as exciting as what you do, I'm sure. Ooh, tell me, do most bad people start crying when you catch them? I'll bet it's a laugh riot to see them sobbing away.
No, Mr. Montgomery, most of them don't.
Well, that's a real shame, isn't it?
Thanks for your time.
No, thank you for yours.
This is ridiculous. He won't be of any use in this state.
This
if
guy.
it takes him as long to snap out of it as it takes you, we'll be waiting around here until noontime tomorrow. There has to be a way to bring him back to his senses. Maybe that quack outside knows something of use.
Sir, I feel like you have some psychopathic tendencies.
Certainly no shortage of bowls or food preparation items around here. Yeah, it looks like gumbo's on the menu tonight.
Gumbo!
Wonder how it compares with Upton's special recipe. It's times like these make me wish I could still eat. Looks like the type of spices you'd use in a stew. Most likely paprika or turmeric. Nice variety of reds and oranges. Judging by the amount of food this family probably eats, washing the dishes must take forever. Judging by the...
Hello.
Pardon me, miss.
What? Who are you?
I'm Miles Fordham. I'm investigating the attempted murder of Madame Dupre.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but I'm very busy. I can't help you.
Do you know anything about what happened to Madame Dupre?
No, I don't. Please leave me to my work. I shouldn't be talking to you.
All right, I'm going.
Or am I?
It's times like these.
Pardon me, miss.
I told...
All right, I'm going.
I told you to leave me the fuck alone.
Some kind of water dispensing device, maybe? I was never very good at finding my way around the kitchen. Must be nice being able to afford keeping your oil lamps lit during the daytime. Nice bouquet of roses, although it would make things much easier if they were Easter lilies.
If only.
Easter lilies are the flowers that the flower shop thief was taking and leaving money
A
for.
horrible little porcelain figurine. Madame Dupre didn't strike me as the type to play with dolls.
Pick it up. Pick it up. There's so many wombs.
Juliet really likes plants and flowers, doesn't she?
Oh, does she?
Locked. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
I've never seen so many beauty products together in one place. Doesn't look like they get used much, though.
'Cause she's a natural beauty. She doesn't need them.
Nice little cottage. Looks like it would make a nice cozy spot to retire. If I hadn't already retired from life, that is. Well, someone's fancy. I never liked these types of beds much. They feel too claustrophobic.
I always thought they had a certain appeal myself.
Yes, you would think that about a bed that lets you shut out the rest of the world.
Damn. Get in those drawers.
They're all empty. How unusual.
Not to mention disappointing.
There's got to be a key for that. Somewhere. We don't even fucking knock.
A much younger Madame Dupre. I suppose that's a nice alternative to a mirror.
Choice and Consequence. Chesterton's A Brief History. Convent of the Damned and Other Short Stories. The Person of Crook Hall. Equestrian Mesmerism. Buffalo
I read that
Skinner.
one last year. If you ever wanted to know the intimate details of a buffalo's anatomy, I highly recommend it. I don't even want to know what that one's about. Choice and Consequence. Who in their right mind would write a book about that? Doesn't appear to be very brief if there's 2 volumes of it. I wonder if anyone outside the family would find this even remotely interesting. Now that one sounds interesting. I was always a fan of Bedletter's short stories. One of those melodramatic romances. I read it a while back, and I couldn't tell you a thing about it.
Okay.
It would appear that Madame Dupre was taking music lessons.
Her current predicament has probably put an end to that venture, though. That's an old uniform, from the turn of the century by the look of it. This must be Madame Dupre's first husband. Kinda strange that she'd still keep his portrait in the bedroom. Seems Madame Dupre fancies herself a poet.
To dream, O Morpheus, caress my cheek, bring forth the soothing visions, give me strength when I am weak, allow me some provisions. In your domain I am as a queen, controlling all I see and hear. I've traveled places I've never been, and know not the meaning of fear. The dove. The dove is pure, serene, and pale, a glowing angel in the sparkling sky. Its gentle coos, unlike the wail of the cursed crow that will not die. Protect the dove from grim defeat, let it remain in gentle flight, for when the crow's allowed to eat, it covers the world in eternal night.
Well, that was life-changing.
For once in my life, I'm completely speechless.
Then perhaps I should take this with me and read it more often. Nah.
Don't quit your day job achievement.
You've got some huge bags under your eyes, Miles. Reminds me of the case we had on that strange train.
Don't remind me.
Ooh, a fainting couch. You know, I always wanted one of these, but I never fainted enough to justify buying one.
Well, there is a piano
Let's see if there's
out
anything
there.
in these drawers. Damn, nothing but personal effects and more stationery.
Don't forget the first rule of detective work. If there's nothing useful inside, check underneath and between.
Ah, yes, of course. Thanks for the reminder.
Now this is intriguing.
What is? I'm not going to warn you again, you disgusting mulatto thug. Stay away from my daughter and my house, or I'll kill you myself. Whoa, this bitch. Okay, so we can't look at the books on the bottom. Wow, 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 wow.
Goodness, someone went overboard with the flowers. This brings back some memories, doesn't it?
Ones I'd rather forget.
Workstation.
These should be useful.
Yeah, take those.
Dr.
Vigor
Tennyson's
pills.
Vigor pills. These would make a sloth act like a hummingbird.
Leeches.
Is this really the best that medical science has to offer? A gentle reminder that everyone's time is slowly running out. The science of pharmacology. Yeah, I'm sure it's riveting stuff. I can only wonder what sort of potions Andrew concocts in this thing. What in the ether is that thing supposed to be? Actually, I'd rather not know. Why would anyone need so many flowers in one room?
Perhaps it's to mask the odors of those chemicals on the workstation.
Could be. Yeah, it must be a nice place to sit and listen to music. Oh, look! It's one of those new audio cylindergraphs. I can't quite wrap my head around how they can manage to get sound out of a wax cylinder.
Okay. Wasn't it just Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti Do on there? Or no? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Come on, phone.
Locked. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
But can I use... Where are my items at? I thought maybe I could use the tweezers on here, but maybe not.
Ah, the Gascon docks. Yep.
Oh, the drawers here. I didn't look at those.
This is always my favorite part of detective work.
Nothing inside but a bunch of extra doilies.
Damn it.
How disappointing. Maybe you should steal one, just to spite Madame Dupre for not giving us any good clues.
No, Bill.
You're no fun, Miles.
No, Bill. Use the vigor pills to rip the chest open. Oh, God. Peter Lawford, thank you for the 26 months. And Misk, thank you for the 2 years. Happy anniversary. I really have to go to the bathroom. It's almost 11 anyway, so let's take a quick break. The sound. Hold on. There we go. God. I will be right back. If you need to grab a drink or go to the bathroom or anything like that, go for it. I'm gonna go pee myself, and then see you in a sec. Hi. Sorry to cut that song short. Hello. Oh my gosh. What happened while I was gone? What the hecky hey? Maximum D1N0. Thank you so much for the big gift bomb. To Zisling, Das Koot, Ashes of Ashala, Orphan Harvest 91, Snark the Great, Morgimmed, Bluebird RNG, Hyperworks, WD40, Severness. All of you, welcome to the Cat Gang. Be sure to thank Maximum D1N0 for those subs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And also, Maximum, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a new member of the Cat Gang. Techno Jelly, thank you for the 35 months. And Library Lad, thank you for the 3 years. Happy anniversary to you as well. Thank you. Oh my gosh, we had a dance party. Excellent. I made more coffee. I heard my family's woes about trying to make pancakes. Our trash is literally filled with destroyed pancakes. They were like, we used all the batter, so. Poor things. I feel so bad. It's like, all right, I'll never make you make those again. Library Lad, thank you so much for the gift bomb as well. Lil Lion. Kazi030, Snickerdoodle, Doman, and Mikey Key. All of you, welcome to the Cat Gang. Be sure to thank Library Lad for those gifted subs. I know, I feel so bad. They were like, well, at least we ate something. I'm like, oh no. Like, it's really obvious that it was not good. They're just like, well, we ate something, so. Zalful, thank you for the 43 months. I have faith your family will master pancakes. You know what? If I just have to be the pancake person in this family, that's okay. I'm okay with being the person who makes the pancakes. Okay. Let's get back into it. We gotta figure out who actually killed this, or not killed, who actually tried to kill this lady. You know? You know? I hate that it does this. Ooh, gross. Okay. Let's go talk to this guy again.
Doctor, may I ask you...
Please.
May I ask exactly what kind of sedative you gave Andrew?
A simple tincture of laudanum. It's what I give all my nervous patients.
Laudanum?
He seems a bit out of sorts.
Hot? Meat kettle.
It can have that effect, but it usually wears off in half a day or so.
Is there a way to bring him out of his condition sooner?
A stimulant would have the opposite effect, but I wouldn't recommend mixing the two. It could have potentially harmful effects on his heart.
Oh, of
Vigor
course.
pills?
I wasn't planning on doing anything of the sort. I was just curious.
It's cute how you act like you have no experience in these matters. It's almost convincing.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all the questions I've got for now.
I hope.
Anyway, I'm just gonna casually go back in the house. And then I'm gonna casually go upstairs. Well, hold on. I love the sass. Yeah, this ghost. Sweet, sweet Bill.
Pardon me, miss.
I told you.
All right.
Okay. Fine. Are we drugging the rich boy? He's already drugged. We're trying to, like, undrug him. Sino Mesta, thank you for the 10 months. And Library Lad, thank you for gifting more subs to Buffy Live, Inode, Micro1818, Hocus Pavis, and Opera Love. All of you, welcome to the Cat Gang. Be sure to thank Library Lad for those gifted subs. Thank you, thank you. And Sarcastic Mr. Fox, thank you for the 5 months.
The bottle is empty.
A gentle reminder. Decadent. Decadent. I got only one. It looks as though this folded piece of paper is being used as a bookmark. I hope
what is
remembering
it?
what page they were on wasn't too important.
Looks like it's a letter for Andrew.
Andrew, enclosed is the agreed upon fee. I wouldn't be able to concentrate on exams without this help. Dr. Tennyson charges an obscene amount. Thank goodness for good people like you with home pharmacies. I'll look for them in the usual spot under the Weeping Angel. P.S. Sorry to hear about your mother. I'll wait a few days before passing by. Under the Weeping Angel. Wait a minute. Did we look at this picture?
I don't know much about art, but I see Madame Dupre and I at least have similar tastes.
Okay. Down here? Or, wait, or,
This fountain probably looked nicer when it was. There's an angel on the fountain, but it doesn't look like it's weeping. This would probably be too risky a place to hide something anyway.
what? Okay, so not there. Is there something like that in here? Weeping Angel.
Who's a pretty bird?
Ray's a pretty bird.
Holly, want a cracker?
No, thank you.
Pieces of 8?
Hi, matey.
Who's a pretty bird?
Ray's a pretty bird.
So long, birdie.
Bye-bye.
Cute. Sarcastic Mr. Fox, thank you for the 5. Battle Pumpkin, thank you for the 23. Avi, thank you for gifting a sub to Radamy. Radamy, welcome to your 4th month. I'm Lunchy, thank you for the 6 months. And also Radamy, thank you for continuing your gifted sub with September. Thank you, thank you. Blended C, thank you for the 10 months as well.
A horrible little porcelain.
Okay, so not there. Under the Weeping Angel.
Nice little cot.
But, like, the angel would be weeping if we got the water to turn back on, right? Maybe.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
I found this bottle of pills upstairs. Are they yours?
Yes, I take those from time to time when I'm feeling tired.
You seem to be out.
Yes, that is a pity.
Where do you usually acquire them?
Oh, they're available by mail order only. I'll have to remember to request some later.
Thanks for your time.
No, thank
No, thank you. Greeting everyone. Am I fashionably late? Always.
This fountain probably is an angel on. This would probably be too. This quack hasn't gotten anything.
Weeping Angel. I wonder if there's nothing else I can really do here right now. The butt crack statue. Yeah, you know. Okay, well, let's try going to the school, and we can always come back here. Oh, and the cemetery. Sure, let's go to the cemetery. Oh, hello.
St. Denis Cemetery. Best view in the city. It's just a shame none of the residents can enjoy it. I think I'm buried around here somewhere. Wonder how the old gravestone is doing these days. Looks like people have left markings and offerings in front of this tomb. You may think it's a silly superstition, but I wish you'd leave a bottle of Bollingworth at my grave every now and then. I don't know him. Must be a recent addition to the force. Well, at least he won't recognize you.
Good day to you, officer.
Good day, sir. How may I be of assistance?
Oh.
Sure is a nice day to be walking around the cemetery, wouldn't you agree?
I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. Personally, the noise those bugs are making is starting to drive me crazy.
Would you mind letting me in the tomb, please?
Afraid I can't do that, sir. This tomb is currently part of a police investigation and ain't available for visits until further notice.
I think I saw someone being mugged at the front entrance.
Nice try, sir. But that's clearly a bunch of bull.
What do you mean?
You're just trying to get me to step away so you can go inside the tomb.
What do you mean?
What? No, I would never do such a thing.
I would never.
In any case, there's another officer stationed at the entrance, so if there was somebody being mugged, he'd see it for sure.
Well, at the very least, it's nice to see the department is hiring competent officers who aren't easily fooled. If only that police officer wasn't guarding the tomb, you could go in there and raid it to your heart's content. Nice view of the river from up here. You can hardly even see the cloud of smog over the chum.
When do Lestat and Louis show up?
Afraid I ain't got please.
All right. So I guess we'll go to the school, huh? Oh, hello.
Oh, it's as though we've journeyed to the tropics. I don't know how you can stand to keep that coat on in here. Those flowers are definitely not native to this area. They seem to be thriving in their glass tubes, though. One of those cute little Japanese trees that are all the rage these days. Personally, I don't see how giving a tree a haircut is meant to be relaxing. Quite the assortment of plants they keep in here. I wonder if they serve any purpose or are just meant to look pretty.
How wow.
Pardon the disturbance, but are you Juliet Montgomery?
I am. And you are?
Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator looking into the events surrounding your mother's attempted murder.
Ah, of course.
Have you got time to answer some questions?
Yes, that shouldn't be a problem.
Library Lad, thank you for gifting us up to Quiston. Quiston, welcome to the Cat Gang. Lemmy EXE, thank you so much for the 3 years. Happy anniversary. Radamy, thank you for gifting us up to Tymenev. Welcome to your 4th month. Darkest Night, thank you for the 4. And Spoopy Mulder, thank you for the 7. Is Quiston in here?
Do you know anything about the events leading up to your mother's premature interment?
No, it was a complete shock. Mother seemed to be perfectly healthy and full of life. Then, without warning, she was dead. Or so we thought.
I take it you were glad to be wrong?
What a ridiculous question. Of course I was. What sort of heartless beast would celebrate their mother's death?
Oh, I could name a few. Juliet definitely didn't shed any tears over Madame Dupre, though. That much is obvious.
Miss Montgomery, you don't have to lie to me. I'm not going to assume you tried killing your mother just because you weren't upset by her death.
I felt terrible about it. You have to understand, I didn't want her to be dead. I just felt a sense of relief. Please, don't think me a horrible person, Mr. Fordham. It's just that Mother and I aren't currently on the best of terms.
Why don't you and your mother get along?
We've never completely seen eye to eye on anything. She always disapproved of anything I did. When I was younger, she used to forbid me from speaking to the servants. I saw no harm in a kind word or smile, but she warned us that if we were too familiar, they would take liberties. Then when I declared my intentions to pursue academic studies, she really went livid. In her opinion, a university education was tantamount to a chastity belt. What sort of man would want a wife with a head full of useless facts, she'd say.
Personally, I've always found intelligence to be quite attractive.
I assume your mother didn't approve of your involvement with Mr. Martin?
A rather forward question, Mr. Fordham. But you're not mistaken. I'm not sure how she managed to find out about Albert and me, but when she did, she nearly had a conniption. As I'm sure you can understand, the situation at home has been less than perfect in the last few months. I'd really rather not dwell on it.
You mentioned you were friends with the servants.
Yes, that's right. I didn't care that they worked for us. Everyone needs a friend.
Did your mother ever mistreat them?
Mistreat? No, I wouldn't say so. She was always very stern, though, and quite cold. If they ever shirked their duties or misbehaved, they were punished, of course, but nothing out of the ordinary that I ever saw. Most of the servants are my friends, but I'm closest with Amelie, the kitchen maid. Mother wasn't too happy
Help
about
us
that.
talk to her. She hates
Amelie's
us.
been around as long as I can remember. She's like the aunt I never had.
What can you tell me about Albert Martin?
I'm not quite sure where to begin.
Why not start by telling me what your relationship with him was?
We met here at the greenhouse. He was working as an assistant, sweeping and cleaning and fetching things for the students. My focus was on academics, naturally. I wasn't too interested in romance. In fact, I've had to turn away nearly every single one of my classmates.
'Cause I'm just so
But with
popular.
Albert, I found myself intrigued. I noticed him stealing glances, lingering just a bit too long after bringing over a book or flask, sweeping the same patch of floor near me over and over again. It wasn't too long before I had him bringing me tools and equipment, regularly.
I see.
As I mentioned, Mother was an absolute terror when she found out.
Do you believe Mr. Martin did what he stands accused of?
I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't seem like him, but Albert can be quite passionate. If the police believe he's to blame, then they must have a reason for it. It wasn't any secret that he hated Mother. Perhaps I should have ended things sooner. It was satisfying to know that Mother was displeased, but I never imagined it would lead to something like this.
Well, it's nice to see she's all heart.
Wait, okay. So Andrew is like, I love her. And she's like, yeah, I mean, he was cute. And he pissed my mom off, so I was into that. But like, yeah, maybe he tried to kill her. It's like, what the fuck?
So, you study botany. Fascinating subject.
Are you an admirer of plants, Mr. Fordham?
My wife has the green thumb in the household, but I do have a certain appreciation for them.
Plants are amazing things, just like people in many ways.
How do you mean?
They need attention and care. Ignore a plant, and it will wither. Give it too much attention, and it will become sick. Plants have many things to teach us, and I greatly enjoy learning from them.
What can you tell me about your brother?
Andrew, Mama's precious little boy.
Damn.
If you've met him, you pretty much know all you need to. He's had the whole world handed to him on a silver platter. But he's in for a rude awakening someday. Mother can only provide for him for so long.
These plants are impressive. Are they yours?
Yes, I've developed a method to make them extra healthy and strong.
They're larger than anything I've ever seen. How do you do it?
Vigor pills.
But I can't reveal my secrets, Mr. Fordham. The world will hear about my discoveries soon enough.
Incidentally, do you know anything about Easter lilies?
No, I don't keep or grow those here.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Quite the assortment of plants they keep in here. I wonder if they serve any purpose or are just meant to look pretty. Judging from that pipe, that contraption must be used to keep the plants hydrated. But it looks like a giant earwax remover to me.
Yuck, 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 yuck.
I've never seen a flower grow that big. What do you suppose they're feeding them?
Vigor pills. Vigor pills. Okay, well, bye. Okay, let's go back to the jail.
Could I ask you some more questions, Mr.
It's not.
Albert, did you hate Madame Dupre?
The woman is cruel, sadistic, and bigoted. When she found out about my relationship with Juliet, she sent me a letter threatening to have me killed if I got near her house or her daughter. So yes, Mr. Fordham, I hated her. But even so, I love her daughter. I wouldn't be so cruel as to take Juliet's mother away from her, even if she hated her too.
I beg your pardon?
Juliet and her mother didn't get along at all. I never asked why, but it was obvious there was something going on.
Intriguing.
We knew that. What? We already knew that.
That's all for now.
What? We knew that, though. We literally just talked to her, and she was like, yeah, my mom and I, do not get along. I was kind of relieved that she was maybe gonna die. And now we're like, whoa. They had a bad relationship. Just now realizing. All right, I guess let's go back here and talk to her again.
She's busy.
What the fuck do you mean she's busy? Okay, hold on. Find a stimulant to bring Andrew out of his stupor. Discover the source of Juliet and her mother's rift. Investigate the tomb and question the residents of the manor. I mean, I'm fucking trying. What was this? Oh, his mom's house. Still can't talk to her.
This quack.
Don't worry, no lilies go in our house. They're bad for kitties. Maybe I can talk to her now that I know that, they're close.
Pardon me, miss.
I told...
Amelie, please. I need to know what you know about Madame Dupre.
What? How did you know my name?
Juliet told me about you.
Miss Juliet?
Yes, I spoke to her at the university. She mentioned you two were friends.
Yes, that's right. She's always been so good to me.
Look, Amelie, I'm just trying to get some information. And I have a feeling you can be very helpful if you just let me talk to you.
All right, fine. But do it as fast as you can.
Oh, she's pretty.
Tell me about Madame Dupre.
Oh, I really shouldn't, sir.
Damn.
It would greatly help my investigation if you did.
Madame Dupre was kind enough to hire me as her cook. It's hard to get jobs in the city. Lots of people want their servants to use those new machines. My sister's brother-in-law got half his leg blown off by one of those new ovens. He's lucky he wasn't killed. So I'm plenty happy working here doing real people's work. But Madam can be difficult sometimes.
Difficult? What do you mean by that?
No, I said enough.
What do you know about Madame Dupre's supposed death?
All I can tell you is that whoever did it really hated her.
Do you know Albert Martin, the man accused of the crime?
No, I'm sorry.
What can you tell me about Andrew?
He ain't so bad. Kinda spoiled, but he mostly cleans up after himself. Has a whole private part of the house, but I think he only uses one room. Better for me, way less to clean.
What do you know about Juliet?
She was always so kind to me and the others, but her mother don't like that one bit. Still, she sneaks down into the kitchen to keep me company some nights. Even though she's a good soul, I think part of her does it just to spite her mother.
I keep hearing this. Hold on. What the fuck is going on upstairs? my god. Okay. Hi guys, sorry.
Are you the only remaining servant here?
No, there's another one. Marcel. He's the new gardener. I haven't seen him in a few days, though. Not since before Madame's incident.
Thank you, Amelie. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Now, please, let me get back to work.
It's the hot tub. The hot tub is making this crazy noise. So I was like, Sam, I don't know anything about the hot tub or how to use it. That's all you, my dude. And it's being weird, so. What the fuck? Hello, my love. Yay! Could you go away? We were having a great chat with Chair. Chair is still here. You can still talk to Chair. Winter Willow, thank you for the 37 months. Zabula Rasa, thank you for the 1 year. Happy anniversary. Tyrant's Eye, thank you for the biddies. Potato, thank you for the 17. Chair, this sub is for you. I see how it is. Tara, thank you for the 45 months. And Tyrant's Eye, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a new member of the Katogangu. Okay, what the fuck are we trying to do? Okay, so if I go outside now,
The horrible.
will I see the other... Will I see the gardener now? Now that we've been told a gardener exists.
This quack.
Everything okay? Yep. Okay.
Holly, want to crack?
No.
Pieces of... Who's a pretty...
Ray's a pretty bird.
So long.
As amusing as it is.
Welcome back, Miss.
She's not gonna.
Oh, okay.
Nothing else.
Can we talk?
Go on.
I wanted to go over the case.
Okay, what have you got?
What do you know about Madame Dupre?
Only what I've read about her in the paper. She's been married thrice, which I can empathize with, and she's extremely rich, which I can't.
What makes you think this Martin fellow is innocent?
The fact that the only evidence is the word of Dupre's son. I've seen this sort of thing thousands of times, and I'm sure you did too. They're just looking for a scapegoat. You're the only person I know who can put it right.
Upton's intentions are noble, but she has to realize this is just a drop in the ocean.
I seem to have hit a roadblock. There's an officer posted at Dupre's family tomb, and he won't let me in.
Makes sense. Who's the officer?
I've never seen him before. He's young, has a small scar over his left eye, and a distinct Dixie accent.
Ah, yes, that would be Officer Grant. He's only been with the department for about 2 months. I don't know a lot about him, but he's already got the reputation for being the type of policeman who'd go out of his way to help old ladies cross the street. Typical Southern gentleman, it seems. Perhaps you can use that to your advantage?
Madame Dupre's son isn't being very helpful.
Is he refusing to talk?
More like incapable. The family doctor has him pretty well drugged to the gills. I need to find some way to perk him up.
Well, you know, we are in a coffee house.
I have a feeling it will take something a touch more powerful than coffee. That's enough about the case for now.
Okay.
That's it,
Then.
Okay. All right. Radif, thank you for the 6 months. Ardark, thank you for the 25. And Sykes Kelly, thank you so much for the 6 months.
Good day to you all.
Afraid I ain't got. Please.
Looks like people have left markings and all. You may think it's a...
Hello, dearest. I have returned.
Good to see you've made it back in one piece. So what's this big case Upton's got you on? Another missing pet?
If only. A Gascon Grand Dame was attacked and almost interred alive.
You mean Madame Dupre? The one whose obituary was in the paper?
The very same.
Goodness, that does sound serious. Tell me if there's anything I can do to help. I know you haven't been feeling your best lately.
You're
Thanks,
always
honey.
a help to me, Addie. Though I assure you I have this well in hand.
I certainly hope so.
Welcome, you fine, cat-loving, coffee-drinking burrito babe.
Addie?
Yes, dear?
I was wondering if you could do me a favor.
What is it?
There's an officer posted in front of Madame Dupre's family tomb, and I need to get a look inside. Could you use your wiles and charm to distract him?
My wiles and charm,
Well, you are irresistible, darling. I'm sure he wouldn't turn away a lady in need. Say you've gotten lost in the cemetery and ask him to show you the way out.
Should we really be tricking a police officer like that?
No.
There's no harm in it, and I won't be but a moment inside. It's in a good cause.
All right, let's go then.
Yeah, Adelaide. Baby.
Excuse me, officer. I was wondering if you could help me?
What do you want?
Whoa. Oh no, is he
I seem
racist?
to have gotten all
Shit.
turned around. Do you have any idea how to get to the front gate?
My suggestion would be to turn around and head back the way you came.
Yes, I've tried that, but I seem to just be going in circles. Perhaps you could point me in the right direction?
Stop right there. That's quite enough from you.
I beg your pardon?
Don't think I can't tell what your game is. You're trying to lure me away from here and into some alley where your gang of Sambos is gonna rob me blind. Exactly how many of them have you got lying in wait for poor unsuspecting fools you bring them?
Just one. And he doesn't appreciate you talking to his wife that way.
Shit!
You know, Miles, sometimes I forget how absolutely delightful it is to watch you lose your head.
Miles, was that really necessary?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Addie. You know how I get with people whose minds are full of that rubbish.
Let's just get him out of sight before this lands both of us in jail. That bush over there should work.
No one talks to my wife like
I
that,
have to say,
bitch.
I wasn't expecting assaulting a policeman to be on today's activity list.
It'll be fine. When you're on the force as long as I was, you can pretty much get away with murder.
Although I think you may have already used up that privilege.
Whoa, hey.
Well, it's been fun,
Too soon,
but I
Bill.
need to take my wiles and charm over to my appointment with Mrs. Lefebvre. I'll see you at home later, dear. Try to stay out of trouble.
No problem. Love you. Literal murder. You know, it's fine. Is this the weeping angel?
A dramatic statue. I'm rather surprised no one has defaced it. Hang on. You don't suppose this is...
The weeping angel.
That nest is full of eggs. But where's the mother bird?
Perhaps she abandoned it.
Always assuming the worst, aren't you, Miles? Surprise, surprise! A hidden compartment with a stash of pills inside. Seems Mr. Montgomery has a little business on the side.
Ho ho.
These crypts are reserved for future generations of Chestertons to rot in.
There are only 3 left.
Then let's hope the Chestertons aren't opposed to spending eternity cozied up to one another. These crypts are reserved for future...
There are only 3...
Then let's... This must be what was going to be Madame Dupre's final resting place.
I don't see anything inside.
What? Were you expecting a note from her attacker?
No, but I was hoping for some kind of clue at the very least.
Where's the other voice coming from? We are haunted by our partner, Bill, who we shot and killed by accident. But he now haunts us. Pip Hop, thank you for the 3 months. B Hands, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a new member of the Cat Gang. Mercedes, thank you so much for the biddies. Panda Pants, thank you for the 23 months. And My Gata, thank you so much for the 6. I'm loving the latest Instagram posts. Thank you, Mercedes.
I suppose the whole heaven shining down upon the tomb motif is good for the dead people's self-esteem.
It was by accident. I didn't want to kill Bill. He was being held at gunpoint by an evil man who we want to find and bring to justice. But when we tried to shoot the guy, we accidentally shot Bill instead. So, you know. Here we go. I know. The LGBT representation of this game. Instantly dead. Okay, I assume.
I can only wonder what's decadent.
Wait, are we not gonna... Do we not use the pills here? Are we just gonna straight up just give him the pills? Be like, here, take a couple of these, my dude. Don't die, lol. Was he LGBT, like, canonically? At the very beginning of the game, he asked whether or not somebody had a hot brother. And then, if we go up into this room... If we click on this picture.
I don't know much about art, but I see Madame Dupre and I at least have similar tastes.
So I think we can assume he's somewhere on the spectrum.
I have some questions for you.
Oh, goody.
You'll never believe what I found in your family's tomb.
Oh? Was it a ghost?
No, it was these vigor pills. You wouldn't happen to know how they got there, would you?
I see you really are good at your job, aren't you, Mr. Fordham?
Yeah, maybe.
Look, Andrew, I'm in no mood for games.
You're doing is highly illegal. I have no choice but to report you. I'm willing to overlook your unlawful activities in exchange for cooperation. Just be quiet and take one of these pills.
I'm willing to overlook your unlawful activities in exchange for your cooperation.
Fine, but you have to understand, I'm not exactly feeling myself right now.
I understand perfectly, which is why I need you to take one of these pills.
I suppose one would help. Thank you. My goodness, I always forget how fast those pills work. My heart is racing. You said you had questions, didn't you? Well, go on, ask them already. You mustn't waste any more time.
Well, that seems to have done the trick.
All
I
right,
just
then.
hope we haven't doomed him to a heart attack.
Robahoo, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a new member of the Cat Gang.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
I can't believe anyone would be so cruel as to do what that wretched bastard Martin did to her. Mother is kind and generous, and everyone loves her. She's even good enough to hire actual people to do the housework. Not many wealthy families do that, you know. They just use automated machines or hire servants to operate the manual ones.
How do you typically spend your days, Mr. Montgomery? What are your interests?
I study pharmacology at the university. I'll be graduating next year if all goes well.
Pharmacology,
I just
goddamn.
hope Mother has recovered enough by then to understand what's going on. She and Jean were so proud of me when I started university. I'd be so disappointed if she couldn't see me finish.
I take it Jean is your stepfather.
He is. Mother married him 5 years after my father died of consumption.
Oh, shit.
My condolences.
Consumption.
Do you have a good relationship with him?
Not terribly. Truth is, I hardly ever see him. In fact, before the funeral, I hadn't seen him at all this month.
Where is he now?
Interesting.
I don't know for certain, but it seems likely he's at his hunting cabin.
His hunting cabin?
Yes, he often goes there. It's his way of leaving polite society behind and spending time with his thoughts. Considering what Mother just went through, well, I would guess that's where he's gone. Although, to be honest, I don't know why he's not here with Mother in her time of need.
Why do people run away from their problems instead of facing them? Why, Miles?
Do you know where this cabin is?
Afraid not. I don't share his passions, so I never cared much to accompany him on his outings.
What can you tell me about your sister, Juliet?
Juliet, smart as a whip and just as forgiving. She's a fighter, that one. Despite being the only woman in her class, she's managed to rank at the top.
Impressive.
I only wish Mother was more accepting of Juliet going to university. But you don't want to hear about boring family matters, I'm sure.
Oh, I do.
Wow, but family matters are my favorite. It's always so reassuring to know how much worse off everyone else is.
What exactly were the circumstances leading up to your mother's supposed death?
A few days ago, I arrived home from school and found her collapsed on the floor. She wasn't breathing, so I immediately contacted Dr. Fellows. He examined her and pronounced her dead. We were all completely shocked. I was devastated. She'd been in fine health. In fact, she'd just been out riding that morning. You can imagine our surprise at the funeral when she sprang back to life.
She'd just been riding,
What's your relationship with the servants like?
Relationship? I don't have one with them. They're servants. Mother always made it clear that they weren't part of the family, just help. We've only got 2 on staff right now, though, the kitchen girl and the gardener.
How is it you know Albert Martin?
He works at the greenhouse where my sister Juliet does her research. The 2 of them were involved romantically, and Mother didn't like that at all. I heard their fights. They were ghastly.
What exactly made you suspect he was the one responsible for what happened to your mother?
Well, I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? His mother's a notorious voodoo witch. Those people do all sorts of awful things to our kind. It's all out of spite, you know. He knew Mother disapproved of his relationship with Juliet, so he plotted to get rid of her.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say, it always really throws me when somebody with a very American accent pronounces a word in a way that we don't pronounce it typically. A person with an American accent saying research is weird. Yeah. Yeah, they were totally helping each other with their research. Weird. You say research. It would be like, it's like when I say garage. The second it comes out of my mouth, I'm like, that was weird for whoever was listening to me. Yeah, like Midoriya. Oh my gosh, Midoriya, my boy. Fuck.
So, you're running some kind of pill business on the side?
I'm providing a service, Mr. Fordham. Not everyone in this life is as lucky as I am. People pay top crown for luxuries like airship tickets and social club memberships. Medicine should be affordable to all. Dr. Tennyson has a patent on the energy pill formula and thus a monopoly on the market. That means he can charge whatever he wants. Students use these kinds of pills all the time, you know. Academic rigors can be overwhelming, and concentrating can be difficult without help sometimes. I've got the skills and the equipment. If I can replicate the formula, help my fellow students, and sell them at a much more reasonable price, why shouldn't I?
There's the fact that what you're doing is illegal.
Oh, you're starting to sound just like Mother. Just because it's illegal doesn't mean it's immoral. I can think of plenty of examples where the opposite is true.
You're probably the most altruistic person I've met all month.
The sad part is it's true.
Yeah, I agree with him. Like, I think that he's kind of a piece of shit, but...
That's a rather exotic bird you've got.
Yes, Ray is nice when he's quiet. But get him started and it's tough to shut him up.
Who trained him?
I think he already knew some phrases when Mother bought him. She's managed to teach him a few new ones, though.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
Polly, want a cracker?
No, thank you.
Pieces of 8? Who's a pretty bird?
Raise a...
Polly, want a cracker?
No, thank...
Pieces of 8? Who's a pretty bird?
Raise...
Polly, want a cracker?
No, thank you.
Pieces of 8?
Oh, here we go.
Tip a canoe?
A pile of poo.
Who's a pretty bird?
Raise a pretty bird.
Polly, want a cracker?
No, thank you.
Pieces of 8?
I'm meaty.
Who's a pretty bird?
Raise a pretty bird.
Polly, want a cracker?
No, thank you.
Pieces of 8?
I'm meaty.
Who's a pretty bird?
Raise a...
Polly, want a cracker?
No, thank...
Pieces of 8? Who's a pretty bird?
We're just alternating those now.
So long.
I thought for sure that was implying that, like, if I talked to him enough, eventually he would repeat things that were said in this room that aren't those things. Is she trying to trick the parrot into confessing? Yes. Investigate the tomb. I did. Did I not investigate it enough?
The science of... I can only wonder what sort of... Is this really the best that...
I feel like maybe this, what we found, is a key, and we haven't actually found, like, the song it wants us to play yet. Does that make sense? Okay, well... Oh, we have new
Doctor?
things to talk to this guy about. Interesting.
Tell me what you know about Jean Dupre.
I'd rather not speak of him. Madame Dupre does not need to be agitated any further.
Oh, they have a bad
I take it
relationship.
You don't look very favorably upon him, then.
I'll just say this. If my wife had been attacked and left for dead, you can be sure I wouldn't leave her side.
What a gentleman. He doesn't even leave women who aren't his wife.
I see what you mean. Do you know where I might find him?
I only wish I did.
Those are all the questions I've got.
I hope...
So we don't know where his, like, away home is. Let's go talk to her again. Maybe she knows. Hi, Juliet. Girl, what
Hello
up?
again, Miss-
Hello.
Is there anything you can tell me about your stepfather, Jean?
He's a kind man. I don't really see him too often. He seemed rather upset at Mother's funeral, but I can't help but wonder if he feels the same way as I do about her death.
What do you mean?
Just that I get the distinct impression that he and Mother's marriage isn't as perfect as they'd like it to appear.
I'm starting to sense a trend here.
Your brother told me that Jean enjoys hunting. Do you know where his cabin is?
Yes, it's in Fenton Swamp. I went out there with him a few times, but I didn't really enjoy it. Frankly, the place is rather grotesque. All those stuffed trophies staring at you with their cold, dead eyes. Plants are much nicer to have around. Anyway, if you take the main road through the swamp about 1.5 miles, you'll come upon a small dirt path that goes northeast. Take that until you see a small cabin on the left. That's it.
Thank you for the information, Miss Montgomery.
I can't believe that until now no one
No more
mentioned her
questions for now.
husband.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Wow.
Hello? Is anyone here?
Strange of Dupre to leave the door unlocked. Maybe it means he'll be returning soon.
Or maybe somebody buried
I had
him.
a nasty run-in with an alligator when I was a child. One less in the world doesn't really bother me, to be honest. An absolute bore.
Ha 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 ha.
Are these even native to New Britannia? It seems Mr. Dupre is a Bollingworth man. Maybe he's not so bad after all. Satchels, boxes, and other assorted boring things for hunting. You really have to wonder about someone who chooses to surround themselves with dead things.
What's in here?
Let's see if Jean has anything interesting in here.
Not very much, except a letter.
Dear Jean, thank you so much for your help. To think that Mother would try and have me withdrawn from my studies is unbelievable. Don't worry, I won't tell her you made the university change their minds. One attempt to win a life is quite enough. Oh, one attempt to ruin a life is quite enough.
One of the guns is missing. Jean must be out using it currently.
Oh, hello. Oh, shit.
Who the hell are you? What are you doing in my cabin?
Jean Dupre, I presume?
Oh,
Yes,
you're very
that's right.
French.
Who are you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I'm looking into the attempted murder of your wife.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Forgive my rudeness, but you startled me.
Perfectly understandable, Mr. Dupre.
This is a man whose bark is most definitely worse than his bite.
Okay, buddy.
Some high society type in the middle of a hunt. I don't understand why anyone would get a thrill out of murdering innocent creatures. Not a very dignified end for our friend Mr. Bear.
Okay, cool. I had basically looked at everything already. How
Can
wow.
you talk, Mr. Dupre?
I suppose so. Yes.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
Oh, my dear wife. The past few days have been just awful for all of us.
Yes, I can imagine. How long have you been married?
For 7 wonderful years. Laura and I are just as much in love now as we were on the day we married.
Lord, does he actually expect anyone to believe
I
that
was gonna say.
nonsense?
You'll pardon me for being so frank, Mr. Dupre, but why are you out hunting and not at your wife's side?
Excuse me? Who are you to lecture me on my marriage?
A fellow married man, that's who. Your wife has
Boom!
just suffered a very traumatic ordeal. Shouldn't you be at home caring for her?
But with all the confusion at the house with the police investigating and her being attended to by her doctor, I just needed to get away for a bit. Surely you can understand, Mr. Fordham.
There's something off about this guy, Miles. He's definitely hiding something. And for once, I don't think it's from his wife.
Do you know anything about the circumstances surrounding Madame Dupre's death?
Horrible. Simply horrible.
Do you have any idea why Mr. Martin might have attempted to kill her?
Mr. Martin? You mean the boys they arrested? Andrew said it's because Martin and his mother are witches who prey on the well-to-do. You only need to
The
take one look at him
well-to-do.
to see his trouble. It's a shame they put him away so quickly. I'd have liked to teach him a lesson or two, believe you me.
Yeah, right. A lesson on how to cower in the corner, most likely.
I suppose it goes without saying that you enjoy hunting, Mr. Dupre?
Yes, I do. I consider myself something of an outdoorsman, you see. It's nice to be able to go out and get some fresh air after being sat at the bank all day.
What about your home life?
Truth be told, I'm not at home as often as I'd like to be. I've been trying to make more time, but something usually comes up. Business is business, after all.
Yeah, but what business are we talking about here exactly?
What can you tell me about your stepchildren?
Andrew and Juliet? I see a bright future ahead for both of them.
What's your relationship with them like?
It's fine. Why do you ask?
I got the distinct impression from both of them that they hardly ever see you.
Well, yes, I suppose that is true. We don't spend much time together. But they're both so busy with school, I don't want to get in their way. Not to mention my job keeps me away from home for considerable periods of time.
Excuses, excuses. I get the feeling Mr. Dupre avoids his family on purpose. But why?
His inside voice sounds jarring. If you mean the voice that shows up at the bottom here, that's the ghost of our best friend and detective partner who we shot and killed at the beginning of the game.
Do you know anything about Madame
So it's a
Dupre
different
trying to get
character.
Juliet
That's why
taken out of her classes
it's
at
not
the
supposed to be like our inside
yes.
voice.
Laura didn't approve of her daughter's desire to further her education. So, she sent a letter to the university requesting Juliet's withdrawal. I didn't approve of her trying to meddle in Juliet's affairs. If she wants to study, she should be free to do so. I wrote them a letter myself, without Laura's knowledge, telling them to disregard the previous request for withdrawal.
That's very good of you.
Yes, well, I dislike seeing people being told what they can and can't do by others.
Yet, he seems perfectly willing to employ servants at his home. Well, I suppose we're all hypocrites in one way or another.
I'll be going now.
Au revoir, Mr. Frodam.
Mr. Frodam. Yeah, bye. What do we have those tweezers for? Okay, apparently we didn't actually look around here enough.
I have to admit.
John Patrick Chesterton, 1740 to 1825. Patriarch, leader, family man. Sarah Chesterton, 1784 to 1812. I told you I was sick. Desmond Chesterton, 1740. Jane Scott Chesterton. William Arthur Chesterton. Celine, 1820. Dale Chesterton, 1795 to Douglas Chesterton.
Good riddance.
That nest is full.
Perhaps she abandoned.
Always assuming the worst, aren't
Investigate the tomb. I did, though.
This just goes to show you can't take it with you, so you might as well spend it all on a giant tomb. This just goes to
Speak to Jean Dupre, which I did. Discover the source of their rift.
nothing else. This quack.
In what year is the game set? That is a great question. I was trying to remember that myself. Oops. $1844. Sick. My mods know. My mods all know.
Amelie?
Yes?
Anything you can tell me?
I hardly ever see him. Only at dinner. He's scared of Madam, and so he finds any reason to get out of the house and stay away as long as he can.
Scared of her?
Oh, it's true. You should see him when they're in private. Like a shamed puppy that dirtied the carpet.
Interesting.
Do you have any idea why Jean is so afraid of Madame Dupre?
If he's seen the same things we have, then yes.
What kind of things?
No, I spoke out of turn.
No,
Forget
you
I said
gotta
anything.
tell me.
Amelie, listen to me. A potentially innocent man's life is on the line. If I don't find out who attacked Madame Dupre, he's as good as dead. So if there are any facts or details you know that I don't, you need to tell me.
I can't.
You can. I'm not with the police. If Madame Dupre did something wrong, I'm not going to look the other way. Trust me, I'm on your side.
Madam beats the servants. I think she even does it for fun. I hear the screams sometimes.
What the fuck?
I don't know how anyone else in the family doesn't. Maybe they do and just ignore it. I don't know. But if Mr. Dupre knows what she do, it explains why he's so scared of her.
What the
Did Madame Dupre ever abuse you?
No, I was lucky. But some of the others weren't.
Like who? I need details, Amelie.
The old gardener, Guy Dumas, and one of the maids, Celine. I saw Madame going after them the most. Don't know what they did to deserve it, but I would see her walk by in a rage, whip in one hand and a book in the other.
A book? What book?
Oh, I don't know. I can't read, so I don't know what it said on the cover.
Oh, we
But
gotta
it's
go
the
through
same
her
color
books
as the
and her
stew
bookshelf.
spice I always use.
Okay,
Don't know what
got
she
it, got
used
it, got
for,
it.
but she always had it with her, just before a beating.
Maybe she'd recite them some of her terrible poetry. I'm sure that was torture enough.
Okay, got it.
Tell me more about Guy and Celine.
They were deeply in love with each other. I used to hear them talk about how they wanted to run away together.
Where's
What happened to
Celine
them?
now?
I don't know. One day they were here, and then one day they weren't.
Do you think Madame Dupre may have done something to them?
I couldn't say for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if she had. Please, let's not talk about this anymore.
Thank you, Amelie. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Now please, let me get back to work.
Well, this should be the book Amelie mentioned. Well, what have we here?
Oh, shit.
A whip. And it has dried blood on it.
No, yikes.
This house is just full of secrets, isn't it?
What the fuck? Hey,
I have some
bitch.
questions. All right.
All right.
Did you know Guy Dumas?
The old gardener? Sure, I knew him. We didn't talk very much. He was just a servant after all, but he seemed like a nice man. He stopped coming around about 2 months ago. Too bad, really. He did a good job of keeping the gardens looking nice. The new one is all right, but he just doesn't have that special touch Guy did.
I know what this is gonna be. You have to play a specific song on the piano. There's gonna be a secret entrance, and there's a fucking, like, dungeon attached to this house. That's what I think.
Were you familiar with a servant named Celine?
Yes, I believe she was one of the maids. I didn't talk to her very much. Oh, she quit not so long ago. At least I assume she did. I haven't seen her in about 3 months.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
My pleasure. The parrot is gonna know the song.
Amelie?
Yeah?
I found this upstairs in Madame Dupre's bedroom. Do you recognize it?
Oh, please take that away, Mr. Fordham. Why would you show it to me?
I'm sorry, I didn't think...
What?
Miles. Maybe someday you'll learn how to read basic human
Of course it would
emotion.
upset her. What
Thank
the
you,
fuck?
Amelie.
You're welcome.
parrot knows. The parrot knows the song.
Polly want a cracker?
No.
Pieces of 8? Who's a pretty bird?
Right.
Polly want a cracker?
No.
Pieces of 8? Who's a pretty bird?
Right.
Polly want a cracker?
No.
Pieces of 8? Who's a pretty bird?
Right.
Polly want a cracker?
No.
Pieces of 8? Who's a pretty bird?
Right.
Polly want a
No.
Pieces of 8? Who's a pretty?
Raise a
Polly want a
No.
Pieces of 8? Who's a pretty?
Right.
Ah, maybe not.
Polly want a
No.
Pieces of.
But then
Who's a
why
pretty-
would why would they take the time to have him tell us if you keep talking to the bird long enough,
Polly want
No.
you
Pieces
can't
of
get
it.
it to shut up?
Who's a pretty?
Raise.
Polly want
No.
Pieces of. Who's a pretty?
Right.
Polly want
No.
Pieces of. Who's a pretty?
Right.
So
Maybe I need
Dupree
even more
looks like she's
time. Maybe I still need to find something else out. Hi, Sherlock.
It's Quack.
Okay, we need to go back to her husband and be like, yo, what the fuck?
Oh, Mr. Fordham.
Can we talk? Do you fear your wife, Mr. Dupre?
Do I? What?
The question's quite simple. Are you afraid of Madame Dupre?
Why in the ether would you think that?
I'd be afraid of someone who kept a bloody whip in my bedroom. Care to explain that?
You don't know her like I do. No one does. Well, no one aside from the servants, I suppose. She's cruel, Mr. Fordham. Crueler than anyone or anything I've ever seen.
Tell me more about Madame Dupre's cruelty.
She treats the servants like animals, Mr. Fordham. She would say the most vile, awful things to them. Things I would expect to hear on the Gascon docks, not from the lips of a grande dame. And the beatings. Oh, God. The screams I would hear from somewhere in the house. I never dared find out where.
Nobody else ever heard the screaming?
No. She was cunning. She would do it when no one else was around. Once she knew I had heard, she threatened me. Told me she would...
Yes?
She threatened to expose my secret, Mr. Fordham.
And what secret is that?
Our marriage is one of convenience. It's all for show. Laura has herself a well-to-do husband, and I am a normal man in the eyes of society.
What you got going on, my dude?
I suppose that would explain a few things.
Well, now, how was that not obvious to you? The soporific is really having a bad effect on you.
Don't worry, Mr. Dupre. Your secret's safe with me.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham.
Okay.
Tell me what you know about Guy Dumas and Celine.
Celine had an accident.
In quotes?
What kind of accident?
Laura thought Celine had been stealing her silverware. She got a bit carried away.
I'm not actually
with
French.
a beating and
Dupre killed Celine?
yes, she did. In order to keep it quiet, she had Celine placed in our family tomb.
I see. What about Guy?
I don't
Celine
know.
is in the
I never saw him
tomb.
again after that.
Well, this case has certainly taken a turn for the sinister.
I'll be going now.
Au revoir, Mr. Fordham.
That's why it's like, you still need to look in the tomb for some stuff, my dude. Oh, shit. Celine's body is in here. Oh, shit.
These crypts are reserved for future...
There are only 3 left.
Then let's hope the Chestertons aren't opposed to spending eternity cozied up to one another.
Dale Chestertons, Douglas Chester, William Arthur, Celine.
Wait a minute. This is Celine, the maid.
Why would they actually put her name there? Oh my god.
Somehow a piece of paper got wedged into the side of the vault. Carefully now. Got it! Nice work, Ford. Now to see what this is.
She will pay for what she did to you, my
Leaving
love.
notes for the dead. How very touching. I wonder if anyone has left me one at my grave.
Quiet, Bill. I need to think. We know this note is likely from Guy. Now we just need to figure out where to find him.
Is there anything on the other side of that piece of paper?
Bill, you're a genius.
I wouldn't give me all the credit just yet.
Let's see. A receipt for an extended stay at the Stun Arms. Does that sound familiar at all?
Vaguely. But I can't recall anything off the top of my head.
Looks like we'll have to do a bit more searching.
Why would they straight up put her name on? Whatever. Like somebody had to make that. Was that not weird?
Hello again, Miss Montgomery.
Hello.
Do you
So
know
much
Guy
to
Dumas?
talk about now.
Yes, he was one of our servants. He used to enjoy reading my books, as well as Andrew's.
When did you see him last?
Just last week, he came by to see me and asked to borrow some books.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
Not really. I get the impression that he moves around frequently. But I can tell him you're looking for him next time I see him, if you like.
Please do. Although hopefully I'll be able to find him before then. Were you friends with Celine, the maid?
Yes, I was quite fond of Celine. She was so sweet and interesting to talk to. One day, she just left the house with no explanation. Mother said it was because she had found work elsewhere. I was terribly saddened. I wish I'd had the chance to say goodbye to her, at least. What's your interest in her?
Oh, I was just curious, that's all. I found this note from Guy at your mother's family tomb.
At the tomb? Why would he leave a note there?
It's for Celine. She's been interred there.
She's dead? Oh God, that's terrible. What happened to her? And why would she be in our family tomb?
That isn't for me to say. You'll have to ask your stepfather. In any case, this note was written on a hotel receipt. I'm trying to find where it came from, but the name is only partially legible.
I can't say it rings any bells. I'm sorry, Mr. Fordham.
Did your mother try to get you withdrawn from the university?
As a matter of fact, she did. Just another one of the many ways she tried interfering with my life.
What happened, exactly?
Mother wrote the university requesting that I be withdrawn. I found out about it when the enrollment office contacted me. I couldn't believe it at first. I thought it was some sort of mistake, but then they showed me the letter.
I take it you were upset.
More than upset, Mr. Fordham. I was furious. I was trying to make a real life for myself. One that wasn't about dresses or debutante balls or fending off suitors. I'd been given the chance to make something of myself, and Mother was ready to bring it all crashing down, just because she didn't agree with it.
But in the end, you're still here.
Yes, Jean stepped in and fixed everything. He didn't have to do it, but it was very good of him. I'm afraid that was the beginning of the end of my relationship with Mother. We never really managed to fix things after that.
Okay.
No more questions for now.
Then if you don't mind, I have work to do.
Okay.
Nothing else to...
Oh, Mr.
Why are you always so happy to
talk
see
with-
me? You shouldn't be.
I found this note in the Chesterton tomb. I suspect it was left by Guy.
So he's still alive?
Apparently so, and staying at a hotel somewhere, judging from this receipt the note was written on. As you can see, the name is only partially legible. Do you know where the Stun Arms might be?
I'm afraid not. Sorry.
I'll be going now.
Au revoir, Mr. Fordham.
Au revoir, Mr. Fordham. Yeah, this is just a big old giggle fest, isn't it, Mr. Dupre?
This quack hasn't...
I have some...
Alright.
I found this note.
I don't think I understand. Who did he leave it for?
Celine. She was interred in there.
Celine is dead? Why haven't I heard about any of this?
An excellent question, but not one for me to answer. I'm interested in finding Guy. See this receipt on the other side of the note? I need to find this hotel, the Stun Arms.
I can't think of anywhere with that name. I know a pub in Lyon called the Albert Arms, but that doesn't seem to match.
Thanks for your time.
My pleasure.
Amelie?
Yeah.
I found a note from Guy at the Chesterton tomb. He left it at Celine's vault.
So Celine is dead? And in Madame's family too?
Indeed.
My God, that woman really is the devil.
My
I need to
pleasure.
find Guy, Emily. He wrote this note on a receipt for a hotel, but the name's only partially visible. Do you know any place that would be called the Stun Arms?
No, I don't know any hotels in the city. I'm sorry I can't help you, Mr. Fordham.
Thank you, Amelie. I appreciate your time.
You.
Oh my God. You know what's gonna happen here? We're gonna uncover all of the information about this lady. But they've established that this town is like deeply racist, right? And we're gonna have to decide whether or not to turn in Guy. But if we don't, then the kid who didn't do anything. Ugh. How do we create a situation where this old bitch goes to jail forever? Everybody else gets to just like live their lives. Ah, God. Timbit Muncher, thank you for the 4 months. Liam Shortland, thank you for the 30. Limelight, thank you for the 23. Vitamin B's, thank you for the 18. Norwegian Demon for the 23. Syncopated, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a new member of the Cat Gang. Black Dragon, thank you for the 9 months. Happy Twitch, baby. Homerez, thank you for the 33. Totally Reasonable, thank you for the 27. And Kayla, thank you so much for subscribing and becoming a new member of the Cat Gang. All right, let's see if we can get this parrot to chitty chat with us.
Probably want to...
No.
Pieces of... Who's a pretty... Probably want to...
No.
Pieces of 8? Who's a pretty bird? So long, bird.
God, are you a red herring? I just don't know. Or a red parrot, rather. Ha 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 ha.
A horrible...
There's nothing you...
There was nothing in here, was there?
Locked.
Nice little I've never seen Juliet real. Well, someone's fancy.
I always thought they had a certain...
Yes.
They're all...
Not to mention... Nice little
The fact that this room has nothing in it is so suspicious to me.
Yeah, it must be in...
No, this will play a song.
Welcome, you fine cat-loving, coffee-drinking burrito babe.
Why would anyone need...
Perhaps it's to mask the odors of those chemicals.
Good. Why would anyone...
Perhaps...
Well, this is certainly not something I can play. Hi, Octo! You would love this game, dude. You should totally try it.
Andrew concocts in this thing.
Also, let's go ahead and save because we haven't. Yeah, it's a point and click. It's got full voice acting. It's super fun. Really quippy dialogue. It's great. I think you'd love it.
Roses.
If only.
Must be nice. As amusing as it is.
Maybe... Oh, maybe she knows. Yo, girl.
Can we talk?
Go on.
I wanted to go...
Okay.
I found this note in the Chesterton tomb. I think it was left by the person who attacked Madame Dupre.
Nice work. Sounds like you're about ready to wrap things up.
I sure am.
I will be as soon as I find him. Take a look at the other side of it.
Part of a receipt for a hotel?
Yes, but the name is only partially visible at the bottom.
Stun Arms. The only hotel that comes to mind is the Boston Arms in Chumley.
Of course. I knew the name sounded familiar.
God damn it, Bill. You're from
I can
there.
tell you about that place. Not right now.
You're helpful as always, Upton. Thank you.
Good luck, Fordham. I hope you find your suspect.
I can't believe this.
That's enough about the case.
Okay.
That's it.
Then
Bill is fucking useless.
Who is it?
Mr. Dumas, listen to me. I don't want to make this into more of an issue than it should be, but I believe it's in your best interest to let me in so I can speak with you.
Just a moment.
I'm Miles Fordham, a private investigator. It's extremely important I speak with you, Mr. Dumas.
What do you want?
Just to talk. May I come in?
Yes, I suppose so.
Yes.
I found your note in St. Denis Cemetery. Care to explain what it means?
How did you...
I'm a private investigator, Mr. Dumas. That's what I do. Now we can either do this the easy way or the hard way. It's up to you.
I left that note for Celine. I didn't think anyone would ever find it.
So it was you who attacked Madame Dupre?
Yes. Yes, it was me. I confess.
I can't remember the last time a suspect actually confessed. If only they were all like this.
He's
But
dead,
please,
so
Mr.
he's
Fordham,
out of touch.
You have to understand. The woman is evil. If only you knew what she did. Please, don't arrest me, Mr. Fordham. You have to know the truth about Madame Dupre.
Relax, Mr. Dumas. I'm not going to arrest you just yet. I'm perfectly willing to hear your side of the story. Now let's take this nice and slow.
See, it's things like that that make me think we're not actually haunted by Bill. He's all in our head. Because, like, if it was real Bill, wouldn't he have been like, hell yeah, that's a place in Chumley. But because he didn't say that, it's like, of course, the Bill in our head didn't know that because we don't know that. You know? Anyways.
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
She seemed like a nice woman at first, but after working for her, I came to know how awful she truly was. When no one was around, she would beat me and some of the other servants for fun, say the most cruel things, call us horrible names.
Why didn't you just leave?
She threatened us, told us she would make it impossible for us to get work anywhere else. It's already difficult enough getting a job that doesn't force you to operate those awful machines. To be blacklisted by Madame Dupre would have been the final nail in the coffin.
How did you come to be employed by Madame Dupre?
I used to work in an iron factory in Chomley, but a few years ago, they brought in some steam machines to help production. One of the machines had a problem, and my friend Connor and I were assigned to fix it. We had no idea what we were doing, but we wanted to keep our jobs. I don't know what happened, but the next thing I knew, Connor was dead, and I was badly hurt. I swore never to go near one of those machines again. After I got better, I spent a few months looking for work, but it was impossible to find any jobs that didn't involve steam tech. Then I found out about Madame Dupre. Working at her home seemed like an improvement. I had a decent bed to sleep in. The work was not difficult, and I even made friends with her daughter. But Madame Dupre soon showed her true nature.
Tell me about Celine.
Oh, my dear Celine. She was the most beautiful thing I ever saw. We were going to get married, you know. Then that devil killed her. She beat her to death in front of me. I was powerless to do anything. Please, Mr. Fordham, I don't want to remember. Let us speak of something else.
Do you know Albert Martin?
No. Who is that?
He's Juliet's lover, falsely accused of the crime you committed.
I had no idea.
Are you going to let an innocent man die because of what you did?
No. No, of course not. I suppose things got out of hand. It was not my intention for someone else to take the blame for my actions.
So why did you attack Madame Dupre in the way you did?
I knew
Is
that
that
if
not
I
obvious?
went to her home and killed her, I would be caught and thrown in jail. I needed to find a way to do it quietly and not make anyone suspicious. Also, I wanted her to suffer for what she did to my Celine. I had read about toxic plants in Juliet's schoolbooks, and I knew a bit about them from working as a gardener. So I decided to poison Dupre and make her appear dead so she could be buried alive and suffer the same way she made us when she would lock us away in her secret room.
Did you say secret room?
Yes, Mr. Fordham. It was no bigger than a coffin. She would place us inside if she was especially mad at us, with no food or water, sometimes for days at a time. We couldn't scream because she would stuff our mouths. She would also plug our ears and cover our faces.
How often did she put you in there?
Only a few times, but that was more than enough. I'd rather not think about it.
Like,
So you
if
have
this
no
bitch
idea
died, it
where
would
it
be
is?
fine, right?
None. I only remember Madame Dupre would say the same thing anytime
Right?
she
Like-
was about to put someone in there. A perfect servant must behave.
We gotta say that to the
I
parrot.
told you everything, Mr. Fordham. Are you still going to arrest me?
I haven't quite decided yet, Mr. Dumas. If I can find this secret room, it would be enough to charge Madame Dupre with a
This
crime.
is based on La Laurie.
However, if you haven't been telling me the truth...
I have been, Mr.
I don't know what
Fordham.
that is, but now I
swear
want to
it.
look it up.
I'll even make you a deal. If you promise me you'll try to find the secret room, I won't leave this hotel.
All right, Dumas, it's a deal.
Well, at least now we can go straight to Upton and have him taken in. Unless you really do believe him about the secret room.
Yeah, they let you. Oh, come on. Come on, Bill.
That's all for right now, but...
Yes, Mr.
Okay. You.
A perfect servant must behave.
And now you'll taste an early grave. Me sofa, Ray. In the middle, see?
Me sofa in the middle.
So long, Birdie.
The sofa in here.
Nothing.
Damn that bird. What?
Maybe the sofa in the other room then. There was a famous French woman who lived in New Orleans and had a secret torture chamber in her attic. Kathy Bates's character in American Horror Story was based off of her. Oh, Jesus.
There's nothing here.
That beast better not have misled us.
There isn't a sofa in her room, right? My sofa in the middle.
A perfect.
And now you'll taste an early grave, me sofa, Ray. In the middle, see?
So long.
Sofa in the middle.
As a music.
It's not there, obviously. Me sofa. Maybe. In the middle. Middle C. Middle C. Me sofa. Me sofa in the middle. Middle C, me. Oh, Ray. Ray. In the middle, C. Me sofa, Ray. Was that how it was? There we go.
That seems to have done something.
Oh no, Bud! Oh,
Dear
fuck!
God.
This does not look good. He's dead. You should inform Dr. Fellows about this right away.
It seems Guy was telling the truth after all.
Yes, it would probably be a good idea to let him know of this development.
Wait, what?
She's busy.
Welcome.
She's not.
Okay, so none of this helps, huh? I can't, like, find out any more information.
Oh, Mr.
We haven't got any.
Can we talk?
Go on. Go on. I'm listening.
I think I'm ready to wrap this case up.
Okay, who's your prime suspect?
I don't want... there's not... Hold on.
Actually,
Okay.
that's it.
Hold on. Just let me try and talk to everybody else. Just really fast. It won't let me go back there. Hold on. Let's go back to the hotel and talk to him again.
Guy?
Yes?
I found the secret room you told me about.
You see? I wasn't lying.
No, you certainly weren't. There was someone inside. A man.
No. Who?
I'm not sure, but I can only assume it was one of Madame Dupre's servants.
Was he alright?
I'm afraid not. He was dead. Dr. Fellows confirmed it was due to asphyxiation.
Madame Dupre must have put him in there before I drugged her. And then, with everything that's happened, she didn't let him out in time. Oh my god. It's my fault he's dead. If only I'd known.
The circumstances are quite unfortunate, Mr. Dumas. However, this has shed a new light on Madame Dupre and her cruel practices. I can't say for certain that you were justified in your actions, but I am a bit reluctant to say you were completely at fault. But the bottom fact is that Mr. Martin has been falsely accused of this crime. If I were to let you go, he would be punished in your place. Unless...
Yes?
I'm going to need you to write me a letter, Mr. Dumas.
Of course, Mr. Fordham. anything to take care of this mess.
Good. Hopefully now this whole grim affair can be brought to an end.
What do we have?
That's all for right now.
Yes, Miss.
What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? What do we got? 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 Wife. Wife, please.
Nothing else? She's busy.
How is this any different?
Oh, Miss...
We haven't got...
Welcome.
She's not...
Can we talk?
Go on.
I think I'm...
Okay.
Oh. But can I acquit him without getting the other kid killed?
Actually...
Okay.
That's it.
I'm gonna save scum. Hold on. Okay. Hello, I would like to acquit this boy.
I think it was Guy Dumas, a former servant at Dupre Manor. He used toxic plants to drug Madame Dupre so she appeared dead, which he learned about from her daughter's schoolbooks.
What was his motive?
That's the thing. I've learned that Madame Dupre is extremely cruel to her servants. She regularly beats them, and even has a secret room no bigger than a coffin where she places them as punishment. I discovered this secret room and found a dead servant inside. He had died from asphyxiation.
My God.
A few months ago, Madame Dupre beat Guy's lover Celine to death. He wanted revenge and intended to make Madame Dupre suffer the trauma of being interred alive.
I see.
Constance, I don't think Dumas should be arrested for his crime. He doesn't deserve it. Madame Dupre, however...
Yes, I see what you're saying, and I agree, but what about Mr. Martin?
I got a signed confession from Mr. Dumas. You can see the handwriting matches this note I found in the cemetery. That should be enough to release Mr. Martin, as well as giving Guy a head start in his escape from the city.
It's gonna be tricky getting the department to look into this, but with the proof you've gathered, it should work. Excellent investigating, Fordham. I knew you still had it in you. And of course, I'll dip into the department's Good Samaritan fund to get you proper compensation for your work. For now, go home to your wife. I'm sure I'll have something else for you to look into fairly soon.
Achievement unlocked. Devil
I'm
incarnate.
looking for Madame Laura Dupre.
This is Madame Dupre. I am her personal physician, Dr. Fellows. May we help you, officer?
Yeah, this bitch is going to jail.
I'm afraid I must place Madame Dupre under arrest.
What? On what charge?
Several, actually. Manslaughter, domestic violence, murder in the second degree.
Fuck
Shall
yeah.
I go on, or can we continue this at the police station?
You won't have to worry about Madame Dupre anymore.
Why
She'll
aren't
be in
you
jail
running
for a
already?
Very long time. And Mr. Martin has been released with a full pardon as well.
Thank you, Mr. Fordham. I appreciate your help and your trust.
Think nothing of it, but you'll need to leave town as soon as you can. Have you made plans?
I was thinking of heading south. New Britannia is too cold and dark. I want to find someplace more like my home.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, Mr. Dumas.
Wife.
Addie, I'm home. Addie?
She must still be out at her hairdressing appointment.
No,
I'm
I
glad
miss
we're
her. I
alone
want a
because
hug.
I wanted to talk to you about something.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yes, Bill, I know. I told you I'm doing my best to try and find the flower shop burglar.
No, for once, this isn't about him. This is about you.
Me? What are you on about?
You can play dumb and deflect all you like with everyone else around you, but it won't work with me. I know exactly what you're thinking, and you know exactly what I'm gonna say.
You want to talk about how we did on this case?
Yes, that's exactly right. Have you already forgotten the old days, Miles? Before I died, we were solving cases like nobody's business. You were one of the best detectives on the force. But ever since you started taking that soporific, your mind hasn't been as sharp as before. If you're serious about taking on more complex cases, you need to listen to Adelaide and stop taking it. It's already had a negative effect on your performance.
What are you talking about? We were able to discover the truth about Madame Dupre.
Yes, but if you were working at your full abilities, you'd have come to that conclusion much sooner.
If I stop taking it, you won't let me sleep through the night. Nothing will change.
Well, things would change if you found you-know-who.
I thought you said we weren't going to talk about that right now.
Yeah, well, I say a lot of things.
An understatement if ever there was one. Can't you just keep quiet without me having to take something?
Afraid not, old friend. That's just not who I am or how this works.
If you keep me up all night, I'll go crazy. Things have been hard enough as it is. And if, God forbid, Adelaide were ever to find out about...
Hello, Miles. Is there someone else here? I thought I heard you talking just now.
Fantastic. The jig is up. And here I thought we were doing so well, too.
No, I was just going over the case. Thinking aloud, you see.
Ah, of course.
How was your appointment?
Mrs. Lefebvre was her usual bossy and overly picky self, but she gave me a very generous tip.
That's good.
So I stopped by the shop on the way home and bought a new deck of cards.
Excellent. Shall we have a few rounds of écarté? I believe you demanded a rematch last time we played.
Yes, that would be nice.
Well, you certainly managed to dodge that bullet. I only wish I could say the same.
When she was further away from the camera, us, she was bigger. And when she got closer, she was smaller.
And it says here they still don't know what caused that explosion.
Why?
I guarantee you it was sabotage. Those Redites have been causing a lot of trouble lately.
Is that the group of anti-steam tech radicals?
The very same.
Why Redites, though?
They're named after some fellow named Jonathan Red. Apparently the one who began the whole anti-steam movement. It's really a rather stupid name, if you ask me. And uncreative, to boot.
Well, what would you call them, then?
Anti-Steam Society. League for the Preservation of Blowing Things Up. The Boom Boom Boys.
Something more evocative, like the Boom Boom Boys.
Definitely gets to the point, I'll give you that. Perhaps you'd best stick with the detecting, dearest.
What?
Your nomenclature needs a bit of work.
What? Addie?
Well, I think it's about time I get ready for bed.
All right, Miles, if you must.
Save. Save. I think that's as good a time as any to stop. We solved a case! Yay! Good job, us. Kayla2102, thank you so much for subscribing. Solus Vulpus, thank you so much for subscribing. Both of you, welcome to the Cat Gang. Make some time, thank you for the 27 months. Miss Marv, thank you for the 14. I just moved and I now live with 3 cats. Real Cat Gang over here. Nice. Official Backlog, thank you for the 2 months. Sir Destroyer, thank you for the 2 years. Happy anniversary. And Official Backlog, thank you also for the biddies. Yeah, I feel like that was the best possible ending for us. Because, like, fuck that old lady. Cool. Well, I'm going to read off our list of new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. I love this game. I'm so invested in everything having to do with this game. It's so good. Is there anything else that I need to tell you guys? Tomorrow's podcast day. So I'll be on Co-optional Podcast. I'll be doing Super Cousin Time with Thierry and also Manga Pod. I don't think you said you wanted to look up Lalaurie. Yeah, I'm not going to do it on stream. Dodgers become more powerful than anyone could have imagined. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to read these off. If you're going to take off, have a fantastic day. If this was your first time here, please hit the follow button. And if you re-upped your gifted sub with September, thank you very much. That was very sweet of you. And I'm sorry that those haven't been showing up in the events list, but I do appreciate it very, very much. Thank you so much to Unicorn Sparkles, Arboyo, to Jabberwock, Baziger, Pink Sakura Flower, Danny Catmum, Phoenix on Fire, Triforce of Mediocrity, Gingerbread Man, Chickman122, Paul Under Intensity, I Am Unforgiven, Tila Elms, A Terrible Wizard, Fritz Cap, Colby, Randon Drunk Hobo, Beta Testes, Shoe Sizes, Jen Page, Silver at Heart, Lillian Lila, Jacob Ward Live, Celestial Sock, Stay Hydrated Bot, Draylin Embarrassed Squid, Das Koot, Ashes of Ashala, Zisling, Fenris Orphan Harvest, Morgie MD, Bluebird RNG, Snark the Great, Maximum D1N0, Severness, WD40, Hyperworks, Thoughtful Walrus, Library Lad, Kazi030, Lil Leon, Buffy Live, Mikey Key, Damin, Snickerdoodle, Inode, Micro 1818, Hocus Pavis, Opera is Love, Potato, Time and 5, Quiston, Radami, Zabula Rasa, Radif, Tyrant's Eye, Bashonanizer, Black Dragon, Robahu, Panda Pants, Hands, Syncopated 15, Akipur, Kayla2102, and Solus Vulpus. All of you welcome. Thank you so much. I hope that you guys have a fantastic day, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye-bye.